Good people, we're back again. 12th man's back. The Arsenal roundabout is back, and we've got a lit show with a lit panel. We've got Lee Gunner on the way. We've got myself. We've got Christian. We've got Igal. We've got Northside. We've got D from Fanzone TV, and we've got Hugo, who's I think a debut on the channel. Hugo, is that right?
Yeah, bro. I've been talking to you after the games, and I thought finally I'll come on and I'll say my piece. But I was surprised a few people what I might say today, so I'll let it marinate a bit.
Nah, fair play, bro. Fair play. I know that you've been very pro before, so it'd be interesting to get your thoughts. And yeah, man, Lee is joining. Don't panic, people. He has sent me the message to say he's joining. He's just obviously a little bit late. We've got nearly 400 people in here, which is mad. Do me a favor, hit the like and subscribe button, and make sure you are following OK Jerseys. Get your £15 top. They've got international jerseys as well. If you're not a club. Well, I don't know, to be fair, I think most people support a club, but if you do want to go international, then you can do as well. So go show them some love as well. You've got the QR code on the top right, which is for Match Bingo, which I think majority of you have downloaded. If you haven't, make sure you are, because there is the international break now as well. And Match Bingo continues. So good luck to everybody on that as well. Let me know if you win, and I'll add you to the leaders board. Got some questions tonight, lots to discuss. Arsenal Liverpool is going to be discussed. Transfer window is going to be discussed. Where does it leave us is going to be discussed. And is there really more kind of time needed, or is it this season or bust? That's what we're going to be discussing in this mad panel tonight. So I'm looking forward to this one. I genuinely do not know where people are standing right now. I know that where people's opinions usually are, but maybe there's people that are sticking by it. Maybe there's people that are not. I want to ask with this question. I'm going to start with Christian. Igal and me did a show earlier on Igal's channel. Big up to Igal. And we were arguing about something, funny enough. But Igal was saying that he didn't blame Mikel Arteta tactically. He blamed Mikel Arteta for the team selection. I blamed Mikel Arteta for both. I thought the team selection was wrong, but I also thought the tactics had zero creativity and no attacking nous. And I didn't believe that he went to win the game at all. But I've had enough of what I've said. This is about what you guys think. Christian, where was you at? Because you text me saying zero creativity towards it during the game, and I kind of agreed with you. So did Arteta get it wrong, bruv?
Well, we lost the game, so I think the answer is yes. Yeah, I texted you before the game saying, zero creativity in midfield. I saw Mourinho starting. I thought it was wrong straight away. I would have started Nwaneri in the 10. I would have started Eze on the left. Martinelli's had far too many chances. He's put in poor performance after poor performance. I've seen enough from him, man. I'm fully turning on this guy, and I hate to say it because I loved him, and I've backed him, and I've rated him, and I've hoped he was going to come back to his best, because I've been there, sunny days at the Emirates, and he's been our best player. He's been our most exciting player. At one point, I would say he had a higher ceiling than Saka, but he's just gone downhill, man. And how far downhill can you go before fans have to say that, the time is up? I think this window was probably the most we could have got for him, because I don't see him, increasing his value again in an Arsenal shirt. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's mentality, confidence, if injuries have hurt him, if it's the system, if it's players around him. He had Xhaka next to him and Zinchenko behind him when he was at his best, whether that's affecting him. But either way, I don't see Martinelli ever getting back to his best. And I see his days in this starting 11 numbered. I think Trossard, when fully fit, is a better option than him now. I think Eze, if he's going to play on the left, I think he's a better option. So, yeah, starting with the team selection, it was wrong. I think Mourinho playing in midfield, we were set up to, like people are saying, not to lose the game. I don't think Arteta said to the team before the game, we're not going to lose today. And that's it. I think he would have said, we are going out there to win. But the team he put out there said different to what actually I think he would have, he said, if that makes sense. Like, I think if you ask those players what was said in the dressing room, I don't think any of them would say, yeah, he said, let's not go and lose this game today. I think he would have been saying, we can get at them, we can win this game. I just think he was too cautious of Liverpool's attack, right? We know Liverpool have firepower in attack. We know they can score goals. We've seen it in their first two games. They scored 3 goals in both of their first 2 games, right? But we also know that their problem is defense. They've conceded 2 goals in both of those first 2 games. So it didn't make sense for us. It's almost like we set up to be defensively resilient and control the game and have possession. But their weakness is in defense. So it's like, you almost couldn't win. And I think that's why the game played out as it did, right? It was a boring game. Our defense cancelled out their attack. Their defense cancelled out our attack. The midfields cancelled each other out, right? Szoboszlai on Rice, McAllister and Gravenberch on Marino and Zubamendi. They kind of all cancelled each other out, which just made for a boring game where nothing was happening. There was very few chances. And I feel like we could have gone at them. I feel like starting Eze or starting Nwaneri or just someone else who's going to get the ball and drive forward. I saw Marino get the ball too many times and turn back. Even Rice, I was disappointed. He just kept turning back. There were times when we were 2-on-2, 3-on-3, and there was a chance for a fucking counter-attack to hit them, and we turn back, and it ends up with David Raya. And I'm like, what are we doing? Why are we not taking the game to them? I don't know if that was, comes from...
Sorry to cut you, Christian. Yeah, sorry to cut you. When you say that the team selection, the problem is your team selection sets out the mentality and the tone. So when you say you don't think that he was saying it in the build-up, of course, in the dressing room, he's not going to say, oh yeah, don't go out to not lose, try and win. But if you play Marino in the 10, like evidently what you're saying to the team is to focus more on defense before attack. That's what you're saying, regardless of whether you say it in the team talk or not. You know what I'm saying? Well, we didn't mean to cut you. Go on, sorry.
No, I know what you mean. I get what you're saying, but Marino's been playing as an attacker for us, right? He's been playing as a striker. He's been playing in a position where he's supposed to get goals, supposed to pop up in the box. He's supposed to, get on the end of things or be the pass before, whatever he is. Marino didn't even play in a defensive role in that game. A lot of the time, if you look at us in possession, Marino was quite far forward. Like even in that first half, it's not like when people are saying we set up defensively and not to lose. I agree in a way, but at the same time, if you look at our, the average position of players in that first half, Calafiori was in midfield most of the time. Yeah, Martinelli was high and wide. Madueke was trying to get in behind Kirkes, which he did quite a few times. Timber was playing up and down. So it's not like we weren't trying to attack. This is the thing that people have been saying. It's like we're just sitting back and defend. We weren't that. When people say Stoke FC, yeah, Stoke used to sit back and play on the edge of their box. We weren't doing that at all, right? But we just didn't have enough firepower to create. That was our problem. That was it. If we had, Odegaard of 2-3 years ago in that team, if we had Eze starting in that team, if we had Martinelli at his best and Gyökeres and Saka's a big point. I know as Arsenal fans, we're a little bit worried now because we played the injury card a lot. And I think I can say this as well. I don't want to talk about injuries because I've said it a lot, right? But Saka is our best attacker and our best player. We missed him. Yeah, a lot of those situations that Madueke found himself in. I don't think Madueke was necessarily good. I don't think he was necessarily bad. But there were times where all we had to do was cut in and whip it far post on his left. And he just didn't. I don't know if he didn't have the quality, I don't know what it was, but there was a few times where he kind of had Kirkes. And if he cut in, there was one he kind of tried to go near post and it got blocked. If he puts that far post, I think he scores or he gets it on target. So we missed Saka. So this was also a game without Saka, without Saliba, right? Without Odegaard. And just one more point, Hugo, you can come in. I just want to finish this as well. This game doesn't worry me, right? And I haven't heard a lot of fans, Arsenal fans, using the word worried, which I think is very interesting. I've heard disappointed, I've heard pissed off and annoyed and sick of this manager, but I haven't heard worried because I don't think that was a performance where you look at it and think, man, if we play like that against other teams, we're going to lose. The United performance was different. That worried me a little bit more because we weren't good, right? And they had chances and we scored from a set piece. But in this game, Anfield, Liverpool away is the hardest game we're going to have all season, right? And it came down to fine margins. It came down to a moment of quality, a set piece, a brilliant free kick. Yeah, we're not going to have a harder game in the entire season in the Premier League. Maybe in Europe we will, but not in the league, right? So for what is the hardest game of our season to come down to that fine margins, I'm not worried. But I also, and I said this in my video that I did on TikTok, Arteta has to hold it. The team was wrong. And we lost the game, man. Yeah, disappointed is the feeling. It's a little bit gutting because I feel like it was there for the taking. I feel like we could have gone for it. And it's hard to take, but at the same time...
Yeah, I am actually worried, Christian. And you lot have seen me on AFTV for about 3-4 years. King Arteta. I've been backing it, but I'm going to give you exclusive. That worried me, bro. That worried me. And I'll tell you why it worried me, because I think Liverpool were there for the taking. I saw Liverpool against Crystal Palace in the Community Shield and they were shit. Kirkis has been shit for the last 2-3 games. I saw Kanate shit start to the season. They hate it when people attack them. Look at what Semenyo did when Bournemouth came against them. Look how Gordon was running the channel. There was a chance there, and this was the first time I actually thought we're going to beat them at Anfield. I thought we had a fantastic opportunity. Do you know what I mean? I really felt this is the time, but we've got to attack them. Their confidence isn't the highest. They're in transition. I don't think Wirtz has done that well. I think Salah's hardly in the game. I think there's something going on there as well. I think this was the time to go and win that game. And it does come back. And as much as I hate to admit it, as much as I'm mutating, I wish Lee Gunner was here. I'm mutating, yeah? Do you know what I mean? As much as I hate to say it, it was Arteta's fault, bro. Because he wasn't brave enough. You got to be brave, bro. We're not going to win the league. We're going to come second again. And when I watched that game, and the reason I was worried, Christian, was I thought, fuck it, bro. I saw this against Bayern Munich in the Champions League a few seasons ago. I saw it against PSG at home. Do you know what I mean? It's the same old. You know, it's just defensive. And so you've got the fucking creative players. Sorry to swear, bro. I couldn't believe Eze wasn't starting, bro. I could not believe it. Odegaard, I'll be honest, I didn't want him to start. I wanted Eze to start. I said to Robbie on AFTV, I said I wanted Dalman to start. And people said, oh no, he's too young. It's Anfield. I see Dalman as Lamine Yamal, and I know people might laugh and whatever. I think he's got that special quality. And Dan's from Colchester, bro. My daughter lives around there as well. You know the hype. Everyone knows how good Dalman is. If we had Lamine Yamal, he would start. And I think sometimes you've got to be brave, be a bit different. But even so, forget Dalman. How can you not start? Eze is not exactly like unfit. Do you know what I mean? He played what was it? He played in that Community Shield, and he did really well. Do you know what I mean? So he's got that, and it would have lifted the crowd. It would have put them on the back foot. All of that psychology would have come to play. If we attack them, Semenyo absolutely ripped them a few weeks ago, and then it goes back to the manager. The manager's not brave enough, bro. And that's it was that point. Like, I felt this a little while, yeah. But because of all the negativity, and sometimes I think people are a bit too negative, and I'm with you, Christian, like this, like, anything that Arteta does is wrong. I don't want to go completely down that camp either. But I think if we're looking to be balanced, I don't think he's the guy that's going to get us over the line. I don't believe that anymore. And as much as I hate to admit that, when I get called, and I go on holiday, oh, King Arteta, you believe in Arteta? I've argued till I've gone blue. But you got to go with the evidence. And the second point I'd like to make is we take it's all data. We're talking about Martinelli, bro. He's regressed. Like, we all agree on this panel. He's regressed. He's not a forward anymore. He's a wing back. He's literally a wing back. He's forgot how to go forward. And he hasn't got the intelligence. He's so, I don't want to call him brain dead, but when he comes to the final third, that little thing that he does with his feet, we all know when it's going to go out of play. How many times have we seen it, bro? He's a wing back. He hasn't got the confidence. And that worries me as well, because we've become like a very good defensive team. I wanted Lee to be here because I actually think our sexy stallion, our pony, I think he did quite well. I think he played quite well. Do you know what I mean? With his long hair. But overall, Dad just got what I just said. But yeah, overall, I'm not convinced, bro. And I don't think if we play Martinelli, I don't, the fact that he's regressed. And the last point, I agree with what you said as well, is that the injuries are really worrying me. And this is where Lee Gunner has got a really good point. You look at the fucking injuries that we've had to our big players. Either they're being overworked, overtrained. I don't know what's happening, but, Havertz never had an injury in his life. Now he's injured, and not twice. Saka's got a very serious injury. Saliba, you played him when you know he's been injured before that. I don't understand that. Luckily, we got Mascara. Do you know what I mean? And I know we want a squad, but at this rate, we're going to burn through our squad in the next 3 weeks. Do you know what I mean? And then we're going to be back to Mourinho up front. So I want to get.
I think you look. You made some good points. If I'm honest with you, Hugo, you've always been a massive fan, and you and I have never seen like the same in terms of where we are at, with Arteta. But I think there's a lot of fans like you now that have gone from, I believe, to he's got to win soon, to this is the last year he's got to go. And I truly believe there's only a number of fans that are not thinking like that now. And I think we've definitely got one on the panel. We might even have more than that. I'm going to come to North next, and I'm going to come to D, and then I'm going to leave Igal to last. So, North, what did you make of this, man, against Liverpool, bro? I don't know what more to say, bro. Just talk to me.
No, I'm just done with this club. I'm done with this whole process. I'm just sick and tired of it. At the end of the day, like, I disagree with what Christian said, saying that he's not worried about this game. We've been playing poor in pre-season. We start the season, we were rubbish against Man United. We got away with it, so everyone got giddy. We were good against Leeds because we're the superior team. We go into this game, and I'm not seeing anything tactically different. I agree with what Hugo said. I'm not seeing any tactical evolution. How many more excuses? Oh, we need a better 10. Odegaard's been rubbish for 2 years. Yeah, I agree. So why are we not playing him? Dalman was our best player in pre-season. We don't play him. We get Gyökeres. How is Ekitike simulating into the way that Liverpool play football quicker than we can get Gyökeres into the game? How many more times is he going to make runs and Martinelli's running with the ball, getting it out of play? Martinelli was supposed to move him on. Why is he still here? Why is he still here? We don't know how to cut the umbilical cord at Arsenal. Everything, bro, even my mum had to cut the umbilical cord. Cut the umbilical cord with the majority of these players, bro. A lot of them are not good enough. There's a group of good players. Some of them are not good enough. Cut the umbilical cord. Why is he still here? This midfield, I saw in pre-season, we were doing the double pivot of Norgard and Moreno, Norgard and flipping Zubimendi or Rice. It didn't work. Guess what? We played 3 DMs against Liverpool. What are we doing here? I'm not seeing anything different tactically at all. I'm not seeing the substitutions by this manager. This manager has the balls to come out in pre-season, come out after the game and say, "Oh, Eze he had a 1v1 chance with the goalkeeper." Yeah, well, guess what? It wasn't based off of your flipping tactics and the way that you got us setting out, the way you got us setting out to play against Liverpool. He created that chance by himself, and you want to criticize him. You've got multiple creative players on the bench. You've got Skelly, you've got Ethan, you've got flipping Dowman. You've got multiple players on the bench that can create. When he signed Eze, he said, "I like Eze for the vision and the passing." Well, guess what we were lacking against Liverpool? Decision-making in the final third. This guy, even when he has the options to change games, he doesn't make the right decisions. How much more do we need to see? He ran out of ideas. I called him out against PSG because we resorted to long throw-ins. Long throw-ins. And this fan base used to take the piss out of Mourinho. These men need to apologize to Mourinho because your manager, the diabolical defensive football that he's playing, could never do what he did at Inter, could never do what he did at Porto, and could never do what he did at Chelsea. So I don't understand the defense for this manager when these men got chest and mouth for managers that are defensive like Conte, but win major honors. But this manager fails at every opportunity. You've got options now. You've got creative midfielders. You've got your striker. People told me, "Oh, Madueke is going to be the guy that's going to connect with Gyökeres." Well, where's that been? Because I ain't seen that. And the fact that people are, "Oh, Madueke was he was our best player," but the bar was low. Because the bar was low getting him in the first place. Because he's rubbish. He's not good enough. I am done with the excuses. This manager isn't good enough. I cannot believe that people are telling me, "Oh, yeah, but Dalman, we got to ease him into the team." Really? Where was this energy for Skelly? Where was this energy for Saka? Because they were getting into the team and they were young. Where was this energy when we started the youth project? All the people that were behind it told us it's a youth project. Now we've got young players that I rate anyway. I like Ethan, I like Skelly, I like Dalman. Now all of a sudden we can't get them in the team. But when it's Nketiah, when it's all them other guys, when it's Reece Nelson, our new contract, get him into the team, Nketiah in the room. It don't make no sense. I am done with the excuses, bro. They're picking and choosing and moving the bar from this fan base. I'm done with it. It was a youth project, yeah? Well, there's some youngsters I'd like to see starting because they're better than a lot of these players. I know what I'm going to get out from Madueke. I know what I'm going to get from Martinelli. So why are we starting with the same players that ain't good enough? How is it that we're sitting here? We already know that Moreno is not effective as a DM, and this manager continues to do the same nonsense. All the experiments I want this manager to do, doesn't do. Drop Odegaard to the 8. He can't do it in the 10. He can't do it in the 10. Too many touches, not effective enough. And then he comes out and says Odegaard was injured. Why did you sub him on? Man says Saliba got his ankle twisted in the warm-up. Why are you starting him? Why are you starting him? And then you want to lie. This manager's got the audacity to lie in our face and say, oh, I saw that Saliba couldn't continue, so I subbed him off. No, he fell down and he couldn't continue. But it's the same treatment that you gave to Timber. You kept him on when he was hopping. Last season, you started Ben White. He was injured. You started Saka this season. I could already tell in pre-season this Saka was not fit. But you started him, ran him into the ground. You ran Havertz into the ground. You ran Jesus into the ground. How many more times? A couple of years ago, you pushed Partey back onto the pitch when he was injured. Let him continue until he gets injured as well. It is a joke. It is a joke. I'm not asking for things that are out of this world. This manager doesn't manage injuries. When he's asked about Havertz and a knee injury, oh, it's going to be a couple of weeks. But then when Ben White's out, oh, it's going to be a couple of weeks. Oh, I don't know about the injury. I don't know. One thing I do know, Arteta, is you continue to play players injured and they keep getting re-injured. Jesus is now injury prone. How many more players, man? To sit there and only bring Darman on in the 89th minute is a disgrace. A disgrace. You've got Eze sat on the bench because you want to play Moreno in the 10. Are you stupid? He's insulting our intelligence. And the majority of this fan base just sit there and applaud this crap. It's irritating. Bro, I don't care he hasn't been here for 21 years. The backing and all the support that the people that do love this manager he's had, it is done now. You win a major honor or get out. Get out. It's frustrating. And the reason I was pissed off because it happened on my birthday. And once again, Arsenal let me down on my birthday. They let me down every year. They let me down every year. They've been
belated birthday, bro.
And then, oh, why are you angry? I'm angry because I'm sick and tired of it. That's why I'm angry about it. I ain't angry about anything else in my life. But this club, yeah, when people say, oh, football's escapism, this club ain't escapism. This club is the reason of my misery. Because outside of football, I'm actually happy. Believe it or not. There's a life outside of football. This club don't bring me no flipping joy. But no, we have to continue with the process. Everything is wrong. The lineups have been atrocious. We have only played well in one game out of our first 3 games. That's a disgrace. The substitutions are too late. Once again, 70th minute. Last season, I was complaining because I was saying, why is Ethan, that is coming off the bench 10 minutes, 8 minutes, coming off the bench, scoring goals, affecting the game? He's only 10 minutes. What's happening? I said, Diamond will get the same treatment. He's getting the exact same treatment. And anyone tells me that they can't start, yeah? Well, they're all happy that Skelly was starting last season because now he got a call up to the national team. So why can't Ethan, that was effective last season, then a lot of these favourites that are getting minutes, like Martinelli, like Odegaard, why is he not starting? It doesn't make sense, bro. I'm done, man. This club, man, I swear down, it's not the club I started supporting. It's not the club, man. It's not the club I started supporting. And if people think this is a big club, then have big club standards and stop making excuses. I don't care about Liverpool's performance because they've actually got over the line, innit? That's the difference between them and us. They can do the pragmatic thing and then turn it up. They turn up in the crunch end of the season. So who cares how bad they played? They've got their trophies. Their process under Klopp, trophies. Their process under Slot, trophies. What have we got to show? We're the team that needs to prove that our process is going to actually lead to something, not them. So don't worry about them. They were in a cup final a couple of seasons ago. They were playing the kids. They got over the line. If it's us, it's the excuse as to why we can't win stuff.
Can I just say one thing, North? I get your points, man. I agree with a lot of what you're saying. I think the team selection was wrong. We're 3 games in, man. A lot of these crash outs, it's like we're 31 games in and we're 7th. Like,
Were we not playing like this in pre-season, Christian?
cool, yeah. Some games we were. Some games were better. I was at the Bilbao game. We played very well. Look, some games were better. Obviously, it's pre-season. All right. I don't think we played well against United. I don't think we were particularly good against Leeds. I think we turned it up in the second half. Let me ask you a question though. This is 3 games in, right? Who is your favourite at the start of the season or now? Who's the favourite for the Premier League to win it?
Liverpool.
I said Liverpool.
Liverpool. Everyone here will probably say Liverpool, right? Online analysis probably going to say Liverpool. Who do you think is the best team in this league? Liverpool. You're going to say Liverpool, right? So do you not think after 3 games in, going away to Anfield, right, and being in a game where it comes down to the finest of margins, the reason we lost isn't a reason for a massive crash out after 3 games? I get it. You can criticize, right?
What year are we in, Christian, of this process?
It's not about process. This is about right now, the season we're in. The season's not done.
And we don't look
we're not trophyless
this
this season,
before.
like people are saying.
Do we look back? Are
we out of every competition this season?
Okay, so we're prepared in terms of players. You're happy with the transfer window, right? Yes,
100%. Yeah, I'm more than happy.
Cool. There's a lot of players that I'm happy with, yeah? Cool.
Yeah.
So when we see big games, PSG, Bayern Munich from before, Man United,
why are we going
when
back?
they're 10 men down,
now?
what I'm saying is I'm not seeing the right lineup. I'm not seeing the right substitutions at the right times, and I'm not seeing anything tactically different to get us over the line. So why am I right now going to go into the Champions League in the knockout stages or in the crunch end of the season? There's nothing to show me that the season's going to end any different. That is why I am frustrated, because I got no evidence of seeing any difference.
Bro, I get that. But do you not think in this game, I don't think there's another game this season that Arteta will be that cautious, right? I don't think Etihad away, right? When Eze's fully integrated into this team, hopefully when Saka's back, when, I don't think there's going to be another game where he plays that defensively, that, set up to control the game. I don't think there is. This is the hardest game we're going to play. One sec, this is the hardest game we're going to play all season. Everyone here is saying they're the best team in the league. They're the favourites, right? So why is everyone crashing out like this? If that's the hardest game we're going to play and it came down to that fine margin,
they've been crap.
How is it all doom and gloom?
Last few games they've been crap. They were there for the taking, like they were.
Why are they the favourites in your opinion then? A lot of people I see online saying they're shit, they've been crap, they can't defend. Why are people still saying they're favourites?
Christian, they're transitioning. They weren't good against
transitioning. They just won the league.
They weren't good against
£400 million in the transfer window.
We had an opportunity. We weren't brave enough, bro. And let's just say, I think it was a 6-pointer, because if we had got those 3 points and put them on the back foot, it would have affected their psychology as well. And if we were that, and listen, people are happy with the transfer window. I'm not fully happy, bro. I think if we really, really wanted it, we should have fucking gone and got Isaac as well. Do you know what I mean? We've got one striker. If he gets injured now, Gyökeres, we're back to Marino up front. They've got Etitike, they've got Salah. Who else have they got? They've got another one, haven't they? Gakpo can play up there.
Yeah, Hugo, we don't have one striker. Let's stop it.
Okay, who's our strikers then?
Jesus is injured. Jesus is injured. Havertz is injured. Okay, so and you could also play Mikel Moreno there.
Okay. Are we going to win the league with fucking Mikel Moreno, bro? Oh, come on, bro.
No, you said we only have one striker, which is not mathematical.
No, I'm saying if Gyökeres gets injured, Havertz is
I can say the same thing about anybody.
Jesus is not going to win us the league.
I can honestly say the same thing about everybody. Let's not jump to this.
No. If Isaac gets injured, they got Hugo Etitike and they got Mo Salah.
If Van Dijk or Konate gets injured, they have Joe Gomez. Let's not do this.
What's that?
If Van Dijk or Konate gets injured, they have Joe Gomez also. Let's not.
They've also got that Italian guy as well, who's pretty decent.
Who? 19-year-old NBC.
Yeah, but they've got him. But we're talking up front. No,
but I'm saying everybody has issues. Let's just keep it on the game. Let's not get the hypotheticals about if this player gets injured, if that player gets injured.
We're talking about mentality. We're talking about if we
won. What mentality are you talking about? A 1-0 away at Anfield. We're worried about mentality now?
We haven't won it. They won it last year and they've shown ambition.
What are we talking about? We've shown ambition.
January, we didn't buy anyone. Do you know what I mean? That was
who did they buy in January?
No, we didn't buy anyone in January. We had an opportunity in the Champions League.
You're arguing
they took the piss out of us, bro. They took the piss, bro. Stop going to the last few
points that are relevant. I'm sorry.
No, absolutely, bro. Last January, when we needed a striker, they didn't buy anyone else. We have to pay over $2,000 for a season ticket, yeah? they took the piss out of us. Sure, they bought loads of people in the summer, but Liverpool bought much more than us and better quality than us. Why didn't we
Listen,
get Isaac?
would you rather
Would
you rather right now have Ollie Watkins as your striker, or would you rather have Victor Gyökeres? I'm happy with Victor Gyökeres.
It's a false question. I would have rather got Victor Gyökeres in January. We could have paid the money.
He wasn't available in January.
If you've got the money, the club
that he was at has to be willing to sell.
Right. If we put 150 million for Isaac in January, do you think we would have got him?
Why are we talking about what ifs?
Because you just asked me.
If we would have beat Aston Villa a couple of years ago, we would have a league title right now.
If we had got Isaac, we might have won the Champions League last season. But we
might have won the quadruple. Who gives a shit? It's
no,
what
I
if.
give a shit because I go to
Let me try and bring this back because we're going off on a tangent here. Let's not worry about what ifs for a second.
Strikers getting injured.
Yeah, let's not worry about what ifs because Arsenal were the biggest what if club ever, man. Like we could go back to 2004 and talk about what ifs. D, let me bring you in on the point of this. How much of this is on the players and how much of this is on Arteta at the weekend, bro?
No, it's all on Arteta. The whole game was on Arteta. I think we're talking about two different things. I think in terms of this game, I think we showed that Arteta wasn't brave and he didn't actually do what he needed to do. That's the point of it but let's not come away from the fact that it was a super tight game and it was a wonder free kick that won the game. So in terms of the actual game, yes, it was a close game, but we didn't also look like winning it either. That's the point. So we didn't look like winning it and Liverpool didn't look like winning it. But if there was a team that would have won it, it would have been Liverpool. So I think that's what most people are more annoyed about. So I guess that Arteta did have to try his best to do what he felt was right. But what he felt was right, obviously, ultimately wasn't right. Because one, we didn't win the game. But two, we didn't play much better than Liverpool did in the second half. They were the ones that were controlling the game and got the better of it. So that's what it comes down to. The everything else about whether he's the right man or not, we can have that discussion at the end of the season. But in terms of this game in particular, he didn't there's no reason. Eze is the fittest player in the league in the squad because he was fit for the Community Shield before our players were fit. He's the only player in our team that constantly gives Liverpool problems every game. Like if you ask Liverpool fans, they'll tell you Eze is always a thorn in their side. So he had an ace card that he could have just used, but he decided to use Martinelli, which I think is the most frustrating thing because Martinelli we want sold, let alone playing on the pitch. So, and I think it would have been a completely different game if you had Martinelli. But this whole Dalman starting at Anfield, I think that's ludicrous as well. That's mental. Dalman can't start at Anfield just yet. Like he can come on.
Explain why. Go on, D.
Well, I believe he's one of the superstar players. I do believe that, but he has to be seen to be. If he has to be seen, we have to wait to see if he actually is that. If he starts at Anfield now, that's a ludicrous decision, whether it works or doesn't work. Now you can say he can be a ludicrous and it works. If it works out, it's a superstar decision making.
What about Ethan? Could Ethan have started?
100%.
Ethan potentially could have started. I still don't think that Ethan's mature enough to play in the middle in big games just yet, let alone in the small games. Every time I watch him play, I just feel like he's not quite mature enough. But the problem is that we didn't end up winning the game. That's the issue. If we had ended up winning the game, then no one has anything to say, but he didn't. And that's the point. So I think you don't need to even go to Ethan or go to Dalman. You've got Eze that's on the bench. We don't even need to go to those guys. This guy's 27, one of the best players in the league. So we didn't even have to worry about Ethan or Dalman, really. We can just go straight to Eze, who's right there, and he chose not to play him. So I think that's the most frustrating thing because Eze is clearly and when he came on the pitch, he was our best player by a mile. So
I was stunned when I see Marino, bro. I got to be honest. I see the team lineup. I looked at Marino and I thought, what are we doing? Let me do these super zone. I'll bring Lee and Igao in. Guna Carlos says the lineup was shit. Same tactics. Eze and Waneri win the game. That's what Igao told me earlier, actually. Rambia says we won't win anything with Arteta as manager. The guy makes me feel sick with what he's doing to the team. Enough's enough. Get him out of our club. We've got Brio says we play on well on the right, hence Madueke praise. It's worrying when Madueke is one of your better kind of players, to be fair, but that was actually the case. Solid just said, Christian, you said that Arsenal had no firepower because Arteta chose not to start the firepower. £1 billion spent. One shot on target. Stop making excuses. Lee has arrived and there's some popcorn. Lee definitely has arrived. We're going to come to it in a minute. Keenan says Arteta sacrifices our players' health, but he won't risk his reputation and be brave. Luis Enrique would have started Eze in the 10 and won the game. Guna Carlos comes back in and says that we are actually 257 games in. 3 games this season, but 257 under this bum of a manager. Get me any manager who has won recently. They won though, is what I've been saying about Liverpool. SER says, Christian, I respect your views, but this isn't 3 games. This is now 2 to 3 years of the same thing. I don't always agree with Lee and Northside, but respect their views. We cannot be blinded. We still play the same way, and it hasn't worked. Gula Carlos says, Liverpool 19-year-old centre-back, who cares? If Arsenal bought in Miguel and Hagen, would be calling him the next Maldini. We should Arteta. What's this? We should Teta 292 games too late. Look, a lot of mixed opinions there. A lot of people are starting to question what's going on. And Igal, I know that you said today that you don't question Igal's you don't question Arteta's tactics. Igal.
Yeah, I just thought simply he got the selection wrong to start the game, and I do agree with some of your takes on the fact that we should have gone a little bit more attacking to start off the game. Let's think about it. If we look at the actual tactics itself, those are the same tactics that help us beat Aston Villa 2-0 away, Spurs 1-0 away. We seen Man City face a defeat to us at the Emirates 1-0, similar situation. Cagey games where we're solid defensively, and once we get our chance, we pounce. Really and truly, I think Arne Slot broke down the game the best out of everybody that I heard from after the game. He basically said, we play that game 10 times. You probably have one winner. You probably have Liverpool win once, Arsenal win once, and the other 8 times is probably a draw. That game had draw written all over it, and I think that was mostly because both teams were cautious. We speak about Arsenal being very cautious, but the fact of the matter is Liverpool were more cautious than us in the first 30 minutes. They didn't even come into our half of the pitch. So I don't really want to hear the negativity from one side where, yes, Liverpool won the game, but they really only won the game because of that one free kick. And
can I say one thing ago? Can I just cut you for 1 second here? The only thing about that though is when you have players on the pitch that can make that difference, that's probably what the point is. We didn't have our players on the pitch that can make that one superstar free kick difference. I know we've got Declan Rice, but I'm saying if you have an Eze on the pitch, for example, then when the games are tight, you can make the difference. They did have all of their players that can make the difference on the pitch. So even if they play defensive, they've still got the players on the pitch that can make the difference. That's probably what the difference is.
Szoboszlai's not a player before the game you would have said has that superstar ability to make the difference, is he?
No, but Salah and
Gakpo.
No, but what I'm saying is we've on our left-hand side, we've gone Martinelli, who we all, even with Arteta in, Arteta out, we all believe is finished. He's playing for 70 minutes of that game because we want him to control Salah defensively. And then we've got Marino in the 10. So that's 2 attacking positions that 2 of them are very rarely going to be able to do anything unless you get a one-off moment. Do you know what I'm saying? They've got, in their positions, they've got their Wirtz, Ekitike, Salah, and they've got a midfielder at right back. So they've got a peripheral of areas that they can win the game from. We don't really have that. That's the point.
I disagree that there's nowhere we could have won the game from. I think that we definitely had quality in the team. I agree that there wasn't enough. I texted Dan before the game saying no creativity in this midfield in terms of creating chance. There was definitely
who would have made the difference in our team.
There's quality. Gyökeres can pop a shot from the edge of the box.
No, yeah, I know, but what I'm saying, Madueke doesn't score goals, Marino doesn't score goals, and Martinelli doesn't score goals.
Look, I don't want to start bigging up Mikel Marino for his goal scoring, but we saw him score goals at the end of the last season. I agree with you.
He's playing in the 10 though, isn't he? I'm saying.
Yeah, he's playing as an attacking player. Look, I'm not backing this, but I'm not hearing on the other side that they had the match winners in the team. It came down to one moment of quality. In the first half, I think we were the better team. We played in their half majority of the game. They never touched in our box.
No. I agree with that. But what I'm saying is that we were never going to score. That's the point I'm making.
They weren't either. That's the reality.
I agree with that. They weren't going to score. They weren't going to score from open play. Okay. But if somebody was going to score, it would have been them. That's the point.
You know something? The best chance actually fell to Eze And Arteta said that after the game, but everyone's ignoring the fact and saying he's calling out Eze, when in actual reality he's just simply saying
He kind
that
of
was our
did,
best.
Miguel. He kind of did.
That was
call him out.
that was our best chance to actually score, and unfortunately the player couldn't get the shot on target. That was just simply a fact of the matter. Hey, Liverpool open play, we created more than them. That's the based on the actual
lost.
match,
And we lost.
If you look at the actual stats, we took more shots. The eye test would tell you Liverpool were on the ascendancy from after the 60th minute, and we could all see that. But Arteta should have made a change.
Let me quickly ask you this though, because this still
Okay,
I'm
bro,
confused
let me just
with
get
you.
2 points in before everyone cuts me off again.
Okay, I just want a quick question because I'm confused
Yeah.
about what you're saying. But go on.
My main thing is from the 61st minute onwards. I think that's where we should have been more brave also, because yes, we all agree the starting lineup was not good enough. We all agree that we were quite what do you call it, reserved going into the game, and I would have started either Eze or Max down or what do you call it, not Max, Ethan, Eze or Odegaard if possible. And personally, Martinelli, I agree with you guys. He shouldn't have started in the left wing. If you remember the moment where him and Gyökeres were like a 2-on-3. And he didn't even pass the ball. He had Gyökeres just sitting there waiting as he kicked the ball out of bounds. That was another moment.
We know that that's going to happen, and we can criticize Arteta and still be Arteta in, and you can praise him and still be Arteta out. So it's not a situation that you have to. Though. I know, but what I'm saying is, in this game, the reason why we lost this game, we didn't seem like we were going to win the game, and I feel like it comes to fine margins. Like I'm not so vexed about this game because I feel like we played well, and I feel like I think this is the 2 best teams in the league, and I feel like sometimes it's football. You can't win every game, and it is going to go to a moment.
You know what really pisses me off? What
let me
finish.
Is
the narrative that only one team was trying to win. And
no. Let me finish. What I'm saying
is not remotely true. But D, you're interrupting me as I'm speaking, and you're telling me let me finish.
You go. Go on. No, you go. Go on.
You know what I mean? I understand everyone's going to have their own opinion on the manager. Everyone's going to have their own opinion on the approach going into the game. Everyone's going to have their own opinion on how the game came out. But if we all put everything aside and we just look at it as totality and say, you know what, both teams, even with Arsenal's injury, nullified each other offensively, and both teams were relatively cautious to begin the game. And Liverpool, when they went on the ascendancy, we didn't make enough changes to get ourselves going. And if you want to say, oh, Arteta does this, well, Arteta has 22-game example of saying, you know what, this is a tactic that works. And I think it is a situation where we can say the tactics has worked for the last 22 games, but unfortunately, the game plan going into this game wasn't the issue. The personnel on the pitch was the issue, in my opinion. And I think the team selection was worse, and the substitutions were worse than the actual tactics going into the game. I think the tactics were correct. And everyone who's saying we played 3 DMs, we played all these 4 center backs, you just have an agenda. Because Declan Rice has not been playing his DM for the last year.
That's just not true.
No, it is true though. Declan Rice has not been a DM. Declan Rice has not been a DM for Arsenal for over a year now, and Mikel Moreno has been used more as a striker than a DM. So when we run into agendas and narratives, I hate these agendas and narratives. Number one, we actually were one of we came into that game and Liverpool respected us more than we did in the first 30 minutes. I already said that. The whole stuff about Max Dowman. Honestly, I don't think he was ever going to throw Max Dowman to start this game. Madueke played well. Also, I want to hear you guys were talking shit about Marquinhos, the Marquinhos signing before the window ended. I think Marquinhos showed after that one game that he's a quality player. Calafiori, who was getting a lot of criticism.
Mascara, you mean?
Mascara. My bad. You know, I mix up names all the time. I'm like an old father now. It's getting bad. As for what do you call it, Calafiori, he shut down Salah. We hear so much about Gyökeres being ineffective. We made their attack ineffective. This was a tactical battle between 2 managers, and the team, just one team found a solution from a magical free kick. And let's not make it into something that it's not. It was just one magical moment. And I don't think we should be going into meltdowns or going crazy. This is the toughest game we're going to play.
You went crazy at Hussam.
This is the best team.
F up.
He pissed me off.
People to be calm.
Northside, he pissed me off because he was sitting there telling everybody that they actually were the better team and they were going to go on to score. There was no evidence to say they were going to go on to score.
Yeah, but why didn't we set up to score? It's all good nullifying them, yeah. But
Did he
you
set
still
up
got to put the ball
defensively
in the back
also?
of the net. We lost the league last season, yeah. Too many draws. So what? We're playing for another draw. So we're
No, we weren't
repeating the
playing
same
for a
mistake
draw.
from last season. It's all good nullifying them, and I hear you on that point, yeah. But the game is there to go out to win, and we didn't show the ambition to win. And when we were attacking, like Christian said, oh, we were attacking at times. Look at the players that were at the end of those opportunities. Martinelli, Madueke. These are not the players that we need that got the quality to put the ball in the back of the net. They shouldn't be selected in the first place.
Okay.
So then it goes down to the manager's lineup.
They shouldn't
Not
be.
only the tactics, but
No,
the
but
lineup.
I don't disagree with
He
you
got
there.
it
That's
wrong
the
again.
thing.
You're trying to skate around it and say, yeah, but look at the positive. What positives? We're supposed to be winning the league. You said yourself this season he has to win a major honor. You said
Wait, there's multiple positives, as I've already said. Calafiori, Mascara, the fact that we nullified the friggin' champions to literally.
So two defensive players are the positives, yeah. When we're supposed to be picking up the points and not dropping the points last season, too many draws and then not win the league.
We also listen. Not too many teams go over to Anfield and outplay them and do have a ridiculously good
and
game.
not too many teams will be trusted in the youth project.
The tactic,
still not winning.
The
and
tactical approach
excuses
to play at Anfield. The tactical approach to play at Anfield is to keep the game close. Because if you get into a back and forth to see who scores more, it's always gonna be Liverpool.
From this game, if we face PSG again,
yeah,
in the Champions League, if we face PSG again tactically, what have you learned in this game? That if we get to quarterfinals, semi-finals, we face PSG again. What do you think this manager's learned? How do you think he's going to win that game? Because we can't involve our striker. We don't play our best number 10. We don't play our best youngsters. We play 3 DMs in the midfield. Yeah. You're telling me that out of this game, our 2 defensive players were the best ones out of the whole game. Yeah, including Madueke that none of us wanted and you didn't want, because I remember seeing the video of you saying you didn't want him. I didn't want him. What have you learned tactically? If we go up against PSG or we go up against another team like when we bottled it against Bayern Munich, what tactically are we gonna do? What have you seen so far?
What I learned today is we're still one of the best defenses, which we already knew. And on top of that, what I learned is hopefully the manager has finally given up on Martinelli on that left wing. Because that performance was so poor.
Yeah, but he played for 70 minutes though. That's the point, isn't it? He hasn't given up on him. That's the point.
No, but that performance was so poor that I think he would throw in the towel and say Martinelli as a starting left winger in these games is no longer effective. Because
it's been like that. It's been like that for a couple years though.
No, but the thing is, let's not.
You're hoping that performance is now allowed him.
Arteta did not have a lot of choices.
Let me ask my question very quickly, and then I want to bring Lee and Christian, the guys, in. Let me ask this very, very quickly, Gal, because I do not know your answer to this, and I still don't understand. I didn't earlier, and I still don't tonight. We played 7 defensive players in that game, whether you like it or not. Rice, Marino, and Zubimendi. Rice, Zubimendi, and Marino were all as a trio in midfield with 0 creativity, and we had a back 4, all of which can play at centre back or fullback. Why did we lose the game?
We lost the game because of a moment of magic. Simple. It wasn't
a moment of magic. Okay,
let's remember. We all of us here were speaking after we beat Man United, saying we weren't good. Liverpool were underwhelming. Also, let's not act like they were amazing. It was a tight game. It was a tight game, and sometimes these games only come down to one moment. The winners write the history books, right? So everyone's gonna look back and say Liverpool won the game, and everything was nice. The reality was. This was a close game. This was a close game, and it took one moment of magic. I'm not going to sit here and all of a sudden say everything we're doing is terrible.
How many goals did we have playing like that?
No, you know what? Let me ask.
We had more shots than them.
No.
And guess what? Outside of the free kick, they had one more shot on target.
I think the question is, would you have rather them played Eze in the 10 than Marino? I think that's the better
100%.
question.
But that's the first thing I said.
That's the first thing we both said. You know what I will say as well?
Yeah, that's probably
I feel like you guys choose to ignore everything we say that's similar to you, and you just go to the points that are negative or different.
Let me say one thing on the team selection as well, right? I don't think Arteta picks that team if Odegaard doesn't get injured last week and Saka doesn't get injured last week. This is where the narrative about him just only setting up defensively, I think, is a little bit wrong. Don't get me wrong. I think he did go defensive against Liverpool and he shouldn't have. There needed to be more creativity in midfield. But if Odegaard doesn't get injured last week, he starts in that game. And if Saka doesn't get injured, if Saka doesn't get injured, he starts on the right and Madueke would have started on the left.
Yeah,
right? So Martinelli was forced into this team, right? Because against Leeds, we saw Martinelli was dropped, right? Madueke started on the left, Saka on the right. I think that would have stayed the same. And I think Odegaard would have played in midfield. Because Saka and Odegaard got injured, it kind of forced his hand. Where I think he went wrong is not playing Nwaneri. I would have started Ethan in the 10. He offers so much more going forward, creativity. Like, we would have created more chances with Ethan in the team. I understand he's young. This guy, you just gave him 5 years
Football's still poor, though. That's the thing, though. It's not even just about lineup. The brand of football is poor. The tactical decisions in game is still poor. It doesn't matter about the lineup because he was playing those players in pre-season. We're still looking dead. So to say, yes, he would have selected those players. But what is the tactics? What are the changes? How are we getting? We weren't even getting the most out of Saka before he got injured. Let's just keep it 100. Saka we still weren't, since we bought Gyökeres and all these players, we're not getting Gyökeres in the game. We're not getting Saka in the game, and our left-hand side is completely dead. So what is the difference whether we selected those players or not? Because the brand of football's still been shit.
But then you said it was fine margins, no? It was fine margins how we lost
I never once said nothing about fine margins.
So was it more than fine margins that lost us that game? Or was it fine
margins? What lost us that game, yeah, was the lineup, the tactics, the substitutions, and the cowardice of this manager to not go out there and actually try to win this game. He was trying to get a draw out the game. And with that, he gambled. And then they took their opportunity and they scored. It was it's multiple errors from this manager once again. It is multiple errors, Egal. It is multiple errors.
We weren't trying to get a draw from the game.
How was he trying to win it? Because after the 60th minute, yeah, why aren't we trying to win the game and get that 1-0 and stink it out or try and get the header or whatever?
Bro, we're not doing anything. Both teams were ineffective in the final third. Why are we acting like Liverpool were more effective in the final third?
Corners. Yes. We rely on corners. When the corners don't pay off, that's the problem.
Liverpool relied on Mo Salah and Inshallah.
We were trying to get corners. Madueke wasn't trying to cross it in. He was trying to get corners.
Bro, Madueke was not trying to win corners. Madueke was trying to get
when our corners are shit, then we don't win the game. Oh, okay. Horrible, bro.
This is where I can't have a conversation anymore because we're now running with agendas. We weren't trying to play for corners.
I've got no idea, bro.
We weren't trying to play for corners. Madueke was trying to beat his man, and his man was better than him defensively in the time.
Bro, I've supported Arteta, but you got, bro, just wake up. Bro.
I'm not supporting Arteta. I'm giving you my analysis of the game.
Wake up, bro. Let's just forget your agenda.
Wake up, coming from.
Bro, please, man. Just honestly, let's just have Christians on it now. Let's wake up, bro. This guy is not going to get us over the line, man. He isn't,
two completely different conversations.
What do you mean I'm on it?
As much as it hurts.
That's two completely different conversations. 1 second.
What am I on, bro? Tell me what I'm on.
No, hang on.
You guys love to crash out over nonsense.
On it now.
Right? This is nonsense. This is nonsense. To sit here and to say because we lost to Liverpool and Anfield, which is a place where we always friggin' lose or draw anyways, is the reason why we're not going to win.
We had the opportunity this year, bro.
Of course we have an opportunity. Guess why? Who didn't? The manager had us set up in a way where we could have got something from the game. What went wrong?
Do you want to win the league? Do you want to win the league?
Oh my God.
If you want it, because you said you didn't care before. I do, yeah? So if you want to win the league, you got to win at Anfield, bro.
That's bullshit.
Brave.
That's bullshit.
No, last season we should have beaten Man City. The season before, playing defensive when we had.
I'm not having it. I'm not having it.
How many times Pep Guardiola's won at Anfield since he's been in the Premier League?
How about that?
I'm sorry.
They
were going through a transition. I'm sorry, they were there for the
competitions. You're chatting shit, and you know why you're chatting shit? Is because if you go out and win away at your title rival, it doesn't happen that often. City,
get him, Lee. Lee, get him.
In the whole time Pep has been here, has won 1 time away at Anfield. I'm pretty sure in all Premier League competitions. In all competitions, Klopp, the whole time he's been here, has only beaten City twice at their ground. And you're sitting here talking about
City shit last year. This is nonsense.
We did not win the league. We do not win or lose the league away at Anfield. The situation is you guys can lose belief. You guys can 1 second. You guys can lose belief on whatever you want. You can be dissatisfied with whatever you want. But when we're sitting here, let's not lie. Over the last 25 years, the team that went away to their title rival and won, it's only been 2 times it's happened in the last 25 years where a team has gone away to a champion away and won. And we're sitting here saying, oh, Arsenal didn't play well enough. I hear that. We're sitting here saying Arteta didn't play brave enough. I hear that.
But when you sit here and start
nonsense, I'm not going to have it.
What about Kirkes and Konate? Weren't they there for the taking? Watch the last 3 games. They've been shit. We didn't attack them, bro. We didn't get Yorkcrest in the game. So they were there for the taking. Their confidence isn't the highest. They lost.
You know something?
They lost
just because they were vulnerable and we didn't capitalize doesn't mean that everything in this game was an example of why we're not good.
No,
I think the game we come out of this game, and there's not as many. We come out of this game, and I don't think you can't come to too many grand conclusions of the whole entire season off the back of this one performance.
I think there's a pattern, and as much as it pains me to
you know
say,
what the pattern is, 22 games up until this point where we have not lost.
We lost the last season because of the draws. Christian will agree with me on that, right?
We did not lose last year because of the draws alone. There was injuries. There was other things also. This season we have the squad depth where we can weather the storm. We went to Anfield. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
See the patterns. Lee, finish him off, gone.
Well, let me just say one thing.
You mentioned Lee's name about 10 times, bro. I don't understand why you mentioned his name.
No, because I enjoy it. I'll be honest with you. I enjoy it. I watched this off, man. I'm a fan of the show. And I find Lee and Igal, I'm a fan of Lee. Like, I used to hate him, bro. I'm not going to lie to you. I used to hate the guy. I used to think he's a prick, whatever. I called him out a few times.
Join the queue.
But now
I've said it in half an hour, by the way.
Now I've kind of mutated. But do you know what it is? I'll be honest with you. He's one of my favorite YouTubers. Him and Expressions. Like, this guy isn't on 500 fucking subs, bro. Like, you know, some people to do a fucking stream for 8, 9, 10 hours and still be talking, bro. That is a special talent. Do you know what I mean? And he's got charisma. As much as like jokes aside and arguments aside, Lee, I think that you are a fucking amazing fucking YouTuber, bro. And I give you your props to that. Even though
I don't know why. I don't know why they turned into a Krispy Kreme donut shop. Like,
what the hell am I
Chill out, bro. Listen, let's get back to the main point.
Big up Dan Potter, bro. Big up Dan Potter.
I think the guys have absolutely lost their heads if they're gonna say a defeat away at Anfield has now have you this upset. The reality is, I think a lot of you guys are already on the cusp of just being like, you know what, we're not going to do it. And I feel like these are the games where these kind of games where we lose in small margins is what makes you go a little bit more to the radical side, where you start saying everything's going to be shit, radical. Everything's going to go, everything's never going to happen. Higo, I can't say a word without you going crazy. Go ahead.
But you know what it is, Gal. You see today, yeah. You know, normally if they were like, I think being unreasonable, I would have just chimed in and just gone back and forth. But I don't think they're being too unreasonable today. I wouldn't say that they've said anything that is more agenda driven or anything. I think we're just talking about the game specifically. I don't think anyone's really said anything. You know what it is though?
There's extremes. They will say the same thing as us. We're all agreeing on similar things, and then where I feel like it gets to an extreme is where you say we never were trying to win the game. We were always looking to try to draw. We came in there with no intentions of winning the game. But the team selection can be wrong, but to sit here and say we had no intentions of trying to win the game, you can say the tactics are wrong, but you don't have to say
but the players that you pick determine the style of play that you want. So if you go with Marino up front, for example, you know that you're not going to play more like a pressing game or a transition game. You know that. You don't have to describe that. This is just basic football, isn't it? You know what I'm saying? We know that he was a. But what I'm saying is, you played the defensive.
2.5 years of an example of us playing somewhat cautious football in these games and still getting results. It does breed.
But did we win the league?
Results.
We have
I think there's two different
trophy, bro.
I think there's two different convos. I think the one convo is where we believe that it makes sense, and two, I understood what he was trying to do. It just didn't work. I think it's two different conversations.
Bro, is going to get us over the line? This is the question. Ultimately, it's all right. We might sneak a 1-0, might get Gabriel header or whatever. We might, great. And it papers over the cracks. It's not going to win the league. Jamie Carragher said it as well. To win the league, you got to be brave.
What does Jamie Carragher know about winning league titles?
You've got to go and win. You've got to go to the big places.
A little bit more than us. But what I'm saying is,
you've got to believe you're going to win. You don't play.
We both won the same amount of league titles, I'll tell you that.
Carragher's won about as much as many league titles as Mikel Arteta as well, mate. Let me bring Lee in. Lee, you've been sitting there patiently, bro, and you've heard quite a lot of what people have got to say. Then I'm going to bring Christian in because I think Christian was trying to come in but couldn't. So sorry, bro. We'll bring you in after Lee. Go on, Lee.
This infighting's great, isn't it? I've sat here for half an hour listening to these lot all arguing with each other, and they're all top gooners. That is great. Yeah, when I was watching that game at the weekend, I'm seeing the away end.
I'm not a top gooner though, by the way.
Oh, you rep the manager way more than you should.
See,
look how quick they cut me off. I knew this had happened. I've sat here for 35 minutes peacefully.
No, you can talk. You can talk.
You know I like you, bro. I like all you guys, yeah? Right, a real talk, yeah? Fact and reality is, it's not 3 games. Yeah, it's 6 years nearly. 6 years in December. Fact and reality is, half of our team that were crocked last year are crocked this year again. I've also predicted all of this, and I got told I was negative by some of the people on here, some of the chat, yeah, some of the online other apps fans. Yeah, when I said and suggested that Saka shouldn't be playing football, but he scored against Fulham off the bench. He scored against Madrid. Cool, fantastic. He scored 1 goal since. Yeah, not only that. Yeah, fine margins, guys. Fine margins. Well, it was fine margins when Declan Rice slapped 2 of the best free kicks you'll ever see into the back of the net against Real Madrid. Because guess what? There ain't no fucking way we were winning otherwise. Because that game was fine margins. 2 of the greatest free kicks. Well, the second one was unbelievable. That's one of the best free kicks. The first one was sick. Yeah, and by the way, our set piece coach and our captain told him to cross it. That's all you need to know. Yeah, one of them's got a mural under the bridge. Cool. Now, them fine margins that beat Real Madrid ended up in the quarterfinal, going to a semi-final and getting their pants pulled down. Then Bailey told everyone to shush after 4 minutes, and the whole stadium went quiet. Well done. Yeah. Away fans at the weekend. Yeah. Bless up to every single person who travelled all the way up to Liverpool at the weekend. I've done that trick. I've never seen a fucking win. Never seen us beat them. I've done that 6-7 times. Never seen a win. Their fans are amazing. They're the classiest club in the Premier League. Big up to Liverpool. Yeah, big up to that football club. Yeah, unbelievable free kick. Unbelievable. Yeah, bear in mind as well, yeah, I've seen this football club win a title at Anfield. Not that I was at the game, because I'm not one of the billion people, yeah, that pretend I was at the game. I weren't. I was watching on TV with my parents. Yeah, at my parents' house. However, they're a good football club. All these people talking about they've signed Isak, Ekatike, Verts, they've signed, they've done 400 odd million. Their net spend this calendar year so far is less than ours. Do you know why? So let me tell you something. Can I tell you something? Yeah, I'll tell you something. Yeah, do you know why? Because they know what they're fucking doing. They got a manager who's already won before. Yeah, we've got a rookie who lost his only ever game as a manager. Yeah, which was Man City when Pep had back surgery or whatever. Lost to Lyon for the first time in the Champions League in 6 years at home in a group stage game. First loss in 6 years. Who was the manager? Super duper Mick. We bought a dog called saying he can't fucking do. Yeah, he's sitting in press conferences telling the world, "Oh well, guys, you know it's unprecedented, guys. You know we've amassed more points in 3 years, guys, than anybody." All the puppets that sit in that press conference, not one of them Google checked it. And I said, "Excuse me, Mr. Arteta. Actually, Man City have won more points in 3 years than us, factually." He also sat there.
Not anymore.
There you go. You cut me off again. Right? I've sat here for half an hour, 35 minutes. I'm not talking about now. I'm talking about when he said it. He also sat in a press conference after we lost to PSG and said we're the best team in Europe. Not one person said a word. Dan, I swear down, Tom, I'm not going to say the next word. It's your channel. I'll say that on mine. Tom and Harry were sat there looking at each other. I've heard him say it, Harry, on Sophie's channel. Bless up, Sophie. Saying me and him looked at each other, rolled our eyes, were poor. So why don't you stand up and say, "Excuse me, Mikel, how are you the best team in Europe when you're not in the final then?" No? Okay, cool. The weekend just gone. This guy's sitting there telling the world that he gave Mosquera his debut. No, you didn't. You did, factually. But, we had to give Mosquera his debut today, guys. Are you dense? You played him against Leeds, mate, in the second half. Yeah? Not one of these idiots stood up and said a word. It's a fucking sect. It is a cult. Yeah? What was the other one he said? There was another one he said.
The Eze comment, man. The Eze comment was mad.
Oh, yes. Thank you. But no, there's another one. It's not that, but I'll come to that. Thank you very much, Dan. So, after 29 gets a pity penalty, yeah, against Brentford or wherever the fuck it was, and we're putting him in a headlock and running him to the away end. Oh, him. Oh, he's amazing. He's amazing. We've got to give him 30, 40, 50 games, mate, before we can judge him. Cool. How comes he's calling out Eze after 19 minutes of football then? Yeah, when factually he should have started. Yeah, that guy was already fit and available to play games. He comes out in thank you, the chat. I love this chat. The press conference after the game, he said, well, Saliba was injured in the warm-up. He done his ankle. Cool. So why did you play him when he wanted to play? Well, hello. Duty of care to your players, mate, because it ain't about just winning this game. It's about going forward until May. We've got multiple competitions. And this is the difference between a proper manager and a bang average manager out of his depth. This guy has done over £1 billion, or thereabouts £1 billion. We had Max Dowman. I don't care what anyone tells me. For me, that guy is our most technically gifted footballer. Play him at right wing. And when people are sitting there saying, oh, but he's only 15, cool. Well, it's a youth project, right? Or is that ship sailed? Yeah, okay, cool. Oh, but Ethan, cool. Well, Eze could have started. Ethan could have started. Dowman could have started. And Gyökeres up front. Everyone calling out Martinelli. Okay, cool. Well, Kenny was doing that 2 years ago and got dogs abuse. Oh, nice to see you all on board. Not only that, oh, but he should have passed to Gyökeres. Cool. Why has nobody called Timber out then? Why is nobody clipping up Timber when he was in the middle of the pitch, running into their half, at the top of the centre circle in their half, and all he had to do is just play a straight pass through Kanate and Van Dijk. He took a touch, a heavy touch, then he takes another touch, then he underhits the pass and Kanate walks off with the ball. If that's Mesut Ozil, that's a goal for Gyökeres. If that's Santi Cazorla, Stesk, yeah, that's a goal for Gyökeres. I could carry on. If that's Alexis, it's a goal for Gyökeres. If that's any half-competent attacking footballer, it's a goal. The way this manager sets this team up is a shambles. We've got about 4 players that play in their actual position. One of them's the goalkeeper. In fact, actually, he don't even play. He's normally out of his goal. Anyway, but he is a goalkeeper. He plays in goal. The centre-backs, they both play at centre-back. Timber's a centre-back. Before anyone wants to challenge me on that, the guy's played over 170 games at centre-back. He's played 85 games at right-back and 22 at left-back. He's played 2 at DM. Most of the games he's played at right-back have been for us. Yeah, we threw him back on the pitch, yeah, when he was injured against PSG. He then did a podcast after we got knocked out and the season was done, saying I weren't fit and available to play for the second leg. So why'd you start him, Mikel? Oh, Ben White. Ben White, yeah, cool. Needed knee surgery. From August to December, we played him, or November, sorry. We played him. Then he sits in a press conference and said, well, we ain't had Ben White all year. Yes, you have. We had him for 3-4 months, mate. But you were waiting for Timber to come back. Declan Rice, yeah, is not creative. The only reason Declan Rice gets assists is because he takes corners and they're elite. He's the best corner taker in the world. Yeah, free kicks, no, he ain't. He scored 2 great free kicks. We'll never see him score them ever again. He might score a goal every now and again from a free kick. Never see that ever again. Yeah, this manager has been winging it for 6 years, and I've been calling it out before he got the job. When we went to Anfield and I see Mikel Merino in that starting 11, that told me all I need to know about this manager. Fuck your 22 games. Fuck your 22 unbeaten. Oh, but we're unbeaten against the Big Six. Nobody cares, bruv. You can lose every game against the Big Six and still go and win shit. Yeah, Fergie lost the title. Won the title by losing to Man City twice. Fergie's also won a title by beating Man City twice. Yeah, you guys have sat there and said, oh, but how many games has Pep won against Liverpool at Anfield? Cool. Guess what? The onus is on us to beat them. They're the champions. We have to put the marker down, not them. Yeah, and guess what? Yeah, guess what? They made their subs before us. And this manager is so fucking dense, it is crazy. Yeah, this guy, yeah, brought on 3 subs. So you have 3 substitution windows. Yeah, 3 substitution windows. How comes we couldn't sub off Timber the other day against Leeds when he was injured? Oh, because we'd used our 3 windows. Are you dense? Yeah, Declan Rice is in the team. Yeah, running around. Yeah, taking corners and hoping for the best. When he gets a corner, Declan Rice is all singing, all dancing. I ain't dissing Declan. I actually think he's played well so far this season. Pretty much. Zubimendi's been fucking bang average. But guess what? You were all telling me he's the line-breaking passer. Almost like you've never watched him, and I have. And I told you he ain't. Yeah, guess what? He got the run around at Anfield. He got the run around at Old Trafford. Yeah, and he was bang average for about fucking 60 minutes against Leeds until we started taking over and dominating. Yeah, cool. Give him time. Give him time for what? Ten Hag's been sacked after 2 games. Yeah, Xabi Alonso in his first league game at the Bernabeu, in fact, his first league game of the season, his team got booed off the pitch. Why aren't they giving him time? How comes Jose got sacked? Why? Because he didn't qualify. Yeah, for Europe. How comes what's his name? Ole Gunnar Solskjaer got sacked because he didn't qualify for Europe. How comes these clubs have better standards for their club than we do for ours? I'll tell you why. Because this fan base is the single biggest fucking problem with this club. Too many happy clappers that are just happy to have a jolly up on the weekend. Yeah, paying stupid money. Think of all the people that went up to Liverpool. Yeah, they paid 30 quid for the ticket. They've probably done about 80 fucking 90 quid in fuel, plus their food, plus their drinks, and they're bored shitless with us having one shot that I can't even remember on target. Genuinely don't remember the chance. 8 corners, no saves. No saves from Alisson. Could have had a deck chair out, yeah, with a cigar on the go. Yeah, facts and reality is this manager is out of his depth. We've got some very good players at this football club. Yeah, and fair play to him. He's got us back up there and all the gimmick and all that. Cool. Let's not forget, yeah, he took us to 8th. Unai never had us in 8th. Yeah, Unai never finished 8th. He had us in 8th before he got sacked. And guess what? Where did this manager finish? Oh, yeah, 8th. What did he do the next year? 8th. Yeah, oh, then 5th. Oh, but we need to give it time. It's this and that. Cool. Fantastic. But, cool. How many chances we created this season? How many? How many shots has Gyökeres had this season? The goal he scored the other day, by the way, he made himself. Then he had the penalty. Max Dowman should be starting games. Not every game. Yeah, because he's 15. He's still developing as a human. Yeah. He's not an adult yet. So he's still going to fucking grow. You don't want to overplay him. When people want to take the piss out of me for saying that, cool. Go back and have a look at Lamine Yamal. Yeah? And you can say that's the exception to the rule. Cool. Fantastic. We'll go back and have a look at when we lost to Liverpool kids then. Yeah? In the cup game that this manager threw in the bin again. I have had it up to fucking here with this fan base's excuses. And the way Gal's sitting there right now with his hands on his head is exactly how the away end was at Anfield. Because realism's kicking in real quick. Real quick, yeah? And let me tell you right now, we've had 5-6 injuries already in 3 fucking games. And I've told everyone, yeah, and I told everyone when Odegaard went down the other day, and this manager again scumbagged it and lied, yeah, and said, well, you know, Odegaard was injured. Cool. Why'd you bring him on then? Why didn't you bring Ethan on? Because he held bench. So if he's injured, Manuel Petit cooked this motherfucker expeditiously on TalkSport the other day. Absolutely cooked him. Cooked him. All you get is, oh, so why ain't he a coach then? So you don't need to be a coach, bro. He's a World Cup winner. This guy never played for Spain. He was trying to become play for England. Yeah, because he's shit. He was a bang average footballer. He was Pep's homeboy. Yeah, and he's nicking 15.6 million out of our once great club. Yeah, fucking bullshit. Eze should have started that game. Whether you win, lose, or draw, cool. At least have a fucking go. What did we do in that game? What did we do against United, who got knocked out by Grimsby, by the way? And I'll end on this. Yeah, I'm telling you right now, buckle up, because your manager is absolutely fucked this season. Because you guys are all arguing with each other. That's why I'm sitting here laughing. That's why I shut my mouth for half an hour. You lot crack on. Yeah, I don't need to. I've done all the groundwork from November 25th, 2019. I told you, this guy will amount to fuck all. Yeah, because he ain't it. But he's had the greatest PR I've ever seen of a football manager in nearly 40 years watching football. He's had nearly £1 billion. Yeah, and we're playing like, in fact, we're playing worse than fucking Stoke. Yeah, David Moyes will get a better tune out of these players. Yeah, and we play better football. Look at what he's doing with Jack Grealish, by the way. Oh, but Jack Grealish don't get assists. Oh, he gets no GA. Cool. How much GA has Martinelli got? How much has Noni got? Oh, Saka's injured again. Sorry, my bad. Yeah. Oh, 29's injured. This is going to keep going all season, by the way. And I've said it before and I'll say it again and then I might drop it off. There's going to be some big players in this squad, yeah, that are going to miss the World Cup. Yeah, so make sure you keep an eye out for that. Yeah, and that applies to other clubs as well. But however, I don't give a fuck about the other clubs right now. This football club has been an absolute Ponzi scheme and a fugazi since this geezer got the job. Nobody calls him out in a press conference for barefaced lies. But everyone calls me out. Everyone holds me accountable.
We lost by 1 point, though.
Lee,
lost by 1
Lee,
point.
come back 1 second. Lee, what happened to Mosquera's shit? And you guys are idiots.
Oh, cool. So what happens to Joe Gomez is at centre back? You said that a minute ago. Joe Gomez at centre back. Yeah, if they get an injury, cool. You've never seen Mosquera play football until you joined the club. You admitted that the other week, mate.
No,
yeah?
I watched 2 games. I watched several hours of his content.
Oh, so you've watched his several hours on Y Scout? Yeah, cool. Well, I've actually watched him. Guess what? You said, oh, but they're going to have this Italian. The Italian lad's 19. Cool. Well, Mosquera's 21, mate. Yeah, and he's one of the rashest defenders I've seen in La Liga in my life. Yeah, but
I
guess
think he
what?
was quite
Guess what?
solid on
No,
the
guess what?
weekend.
Hold up.
And
Wait
he
a
still
minute.
have an
You've
agenda.
asked me a question, so let me answer it. Let me tell you right now. Yeah, he's looked fantastic so far when he's played. Fair fucking play to him. However, when the chips are down, my friend, yeah, this club folds. When it really matters, we fold.
What does
It's
that
all
have
well
to
and
do
good.
with the player?
What's it got to do with the player? The player you've never seen apart from Y-Scout.
No,
You've never seen
said he was
Zubimendi
shit,
apart from
so
the
I
odd
was
game.
assuming.
No, I never
was
said he's
assuming
shit.
if
Don't put words in my mouth.
You said he's shit. Don't change your words
When
now.
did I say shit?
Bro, you said it.
I said he's
Do
rash.
you want me to go find it? Let me go find it.
Go and find it again. I'll see you in
No,
about 4
you
weeks.
did. You said it with that African
No.
Gooner guy.
I said to African Guna, how many games you watched him? He went, I ain't. So I said, how can you then have the general consensus then and an opinion that he's better and he's a sensible signing? How can
It's
you
only
tell
one
me?
game anyway. There's no
No,
proof anyway.
D,
It's only
sorry,
one game
respectfully,
anyway.
D, 1 second, bro. How can somebody who's never watched a footballer play football, yeah, then when we sign the footballer, say that's a sensible signing? You've never
No,
watched him, so how do you know?
Plus, it's only one game anyway, so we ain't really
No, it's
got
not only
enough.
one game. He's played 2 games, and fair play to him. He's been decent in both of them. He was quality at
He's
Anfield at the
very
weekend.
good.
Fair play,
Very, very good.
right? But at
He's
the same time, we've seen Kivior do the same against Real Madrid. We've seen Kivior play well in other games. Cool. The guy's playing on adrenaline because he's got the gig of his life playing for this football
You
club,
ready?
getting paid more.
You ready?
Cool. He is shit defensively. Going forward, mate.
Just go and sign up the Valencia centre back. That's not even good.
That's not even
You said
good.
he's not even good.
No, it's
Now
not
you
good.
see-
No, hold up. So factually, I never said shit. So let's just take that back. Don't put words in my mouth again.
There's other
Yeah?
videos,
And
there's
secondly,
other videos.
we'll find the other ones then. Yeah, because you people do this, and I've sat here for half an hour listening to you not
gonna search
waffling.
and destroy, bro. It's not
No, no, it's not. Also, sit here wasting half an hour of my life listening to bullshit, and then when I talk, you all talk over me. Yeah, so
Bro,
how about that? I was
what
polite
is
enough
this?
to listen to
It's
you,
a
so how about
selection.
doing the
You
same?
spoke. We let
Okay,
you
and then
speak
you
the
asked me
whole
a
time.
question. You still don't let me finish it. You then
No,
lied
he
and said I
said-
said he's shit. I said he's not good. He's not good. Do you know
Bro,
why?
Lee, you die on hills. This is what you do. You
I don't die on hills. Have I died on the Arteta hill? Because I'm still here, bro.
This is what you do. Every time when something changes, you can change your opinion. But you know something, Lee? You said oh my god, fuck's sake.
Oh, there you go.
Go
Rage quit.
Nah, bro, man,
Rage
your boy
quit.
just woke up. I gotta
No,
go.
that guy defensively. I've watched Valencia, and if you don't think I'm being serious, yeah, type in on YouTube right now on a YouTube search Lee reacts space Valencia, yeah, and go through it. Then type in Lee reacts Spain under 21s. Or yeah, I've done about 20 watch-alongs for that guy on my other channel. Yeah, this guy was playing left centre back last season. He was playing right back last season. He was playing left in a free. These men are going, oh, he's the right centre back cover. Yes, he is a right back. However, none of these people know why he was playing left centre back in a free, or why he was playing left, or why he was playing right back. Sorry. Do you know why? Max Aaron's shit. He fell off a cliff, so he was playing right back. Diakabi got injured all season, so he was playing left centre back. Yeah, the guy is rash, bro. Yeah, his pace is his best attribute. But this is what we do as a fan base majority. As soon as a fucking player signs for this club, he's the greatest thing since sliced bread. Yeah, I've never watched really this Hincapia guy. But people that watch my channel every single day, and I mean every single day, every single stream, that watch Bundesliga and or are German, are telling me he's like Vardial. Cool. But I'll be the fucking judge of that then. How many games do we have to judge him? Is it 19 minutes or is it 50 games?
Let me just bring Christian in because I know Christian was trying to wait patiently. Do you think there's the panel being too negative at the moment, Christian? Do you think it's a bit over the top or what?
I understand it. I'm not gonna sit here and say that I don't get it and whatever. I get it, man. I've said it as well. We ain't trying to win a trophy in 6 years. That's what the goal is. That's what the aim is. I've criticized, man. I said if you go on my TikTok, watch the video I did after I was on holiday. I was in Turkey. I made a video because I felt like I needed to be honest and say that, you know, a lot of this is on Arteta. I feel like we should have gone for it. We didn't. I just think the overreaction is a bit too far. I think a lot of people saying we're not in a title race, we're shit, we're this, we're that, we can't challenge the big team. Bro, what Igal was saying about us against the big teams is true. We ain't lost the game against a big 6 team in 22 games.
Who cares? We lost the fucking ball, mate.
You're talking about people coming in when you're talking. Let me just talk.
Fairs, go on.
Right, you're talking about, you know, fans that go to matches and they're bored out of their heads. Well, what about the last 22 games they've gone to watch us against a big 6 team that they haven't seen us lose? All right, I think it's 13 wins and 9 draws. All right, 13 wins in the last 22 games against Big Six teams. Cool, we ain't got over the line. I get that, and I've criticised. And I feel like the pressure is on us to get over the line this season. 100% it is. And I criticised the team selection. I feel like the Martinelli one was forced. I feel like Madueke would have started on the left if Saka didn't get injured, and Saka would have started on the right. And I feel like if Eze was fully integrated into this team and had a few more weeks to train and learn the system, I think he would have started. My criticism there is that Nwaneri should have started. This guy came on against Leeds when Odegaard went off. He was better than Odegaard, right? You just gave him a 5-year contract. You put faith in him. You say you want to play him in the middle. You say you want to give him more minutes. How he can just sit on the bench for 90 minutes when Odegaard, who's injured, is coming on. I agree with you, Lee. 100% I agree with you there. That is my criticism. But I'm not worried going forward, because if that is our hardest game this season and it's coming down to fine margins, one moment, of Szoboszlai quality, then why should I be worried?
Okay, Christian, sorry to cut in there. That isn't the hardest game we'll have all season.
What's the hardest
it's
game?
It's not. No, season? Because you're looking at the size of the club and the fact that they're champions.
Our
hardest game would be Fulham away or some stupid team like Everton or someone. Yeah, respectfully to all these other teams. You're looking at the quality and the caliber and the size and the stature of the football club that we're playing that are current champions. So, yes, it is a hard game. We all knew. I predicted a 2-2 draw. I actually thought we'd score first. They'd score first. Yeah, and then we go 2-1 up and there's scam a draw at the end. Because guess what? They've been poor in the first 2 games. And that was the best opportunity we've had in 13 years to go there, and stamp an authority and say, we're winning this year. And what did we do? Set up with 4 DMs, 4 centre-backs playing across the line, and 3 DMs. What you should have done is gone, let's have a go. Yeah, and if we got wallops, and I want to read this question because there's somebody watching this, and he's a friend of mine, he's texted me, he goes to all the home and away games all around Europe and England, he texts me, I'm not going to say his name, but bless up to him, he said, where is it? Where are we? Fucking hell, he's been texting me all night. Right, can I ask something? People moaning about how Arteta set up on Sunday, would you be happy if we went to Anfield and went for it and we had 15 shots, 10 on target and lost 3-0 because we went attacking? Yeah. I would have, because you know why? We showed intent. Yeah, everyone was taking a piss out of Florian Wirtz in that first half. He was awful, absolutely awful, and he's been awful for all the games. However, the second half, he was quality. Yeah, and this is the difference. It's intent. He started with Florian Wirtz. He started with Salah. Salah's been poor. Let's just be real with it. He's been poor again in that game. He was anonymous. Florian Wirtz weren't great in that game. They weren't great. The game was dead. Yeah, but at the end of the day, if you go and play a game against a team that are current champions and you go up there to their ground and you go, let's have a go, and then you end up losing 3-0. I've seen this against Man United, by the way, when we battered them and David De Gea turned into Superman, and they beat us 3-1. I was at the game. But guess what? I walked out there and I was like, at least we had a go, but they got fucking lucky today. Yeah, you showed intent. If you're going to Anfield, you have to stamp the authority. I've seen Burnley go and win there. I've seen Palace win there. They went 6 straight home games losses under Klopp. So let's not pretend that this is all singing, all dancing Anfield. Let's not pretend that they're not beatable. We see Fulham, get done in the last minute last season or the year before. Fulham played them off the park. We've seen Newcastle with 10 men bop them at St James's. Yes, it's at St James's, not Anfield. Either way, the premise and the concept is the same. You still have to try and score goals. You still have to have intent. We went there to play for a draw and try and bully them. And what they did was superb, by the way. Because they held up to the physical side of it. And then they were Virgil van Dijk dribbling past Declan Rice and Zubamendi. That's their centre half. Then he's passing 40-yard clean, balls clean through. Like, come on, man. Yeah, they didn't have as many shots as us. But all the way through my watch along, I was like, there's only one team winning this. They had a goal disallowed for offside. What did we do? Our striker got booked more than he had a shot. Come on, man. Like, you've got Eze comes off the bench. Martinelli played 70 minutes. He came on at 70 minutes against Leeds. We've done that back to front, by the way. He should have come on at 70 minutes against Leeds.
Injury, though. If Saka doesn't get injured, Saka starts this game.
So basically, after £1 billion nearly, then we're still relying on one player.
No, we're not. We're not at all. But Saka got injured. Which is obviously why he didn't start. He didn't play. Odegaard,
like I did tell everyone he would.
Even though he came off the bench, a shoulder injury. Look, I think if you're on the bench, you can start. If you can.
Facts, Petit said the same. To be fair,
100%. That's the thing. That's where I'm slightly in two minds about it, because I'm like, if Eze is fully integrated into this team, right? If he's got a few more weeks, to, like I just said, to learn this system, I think he starts. If Saka
Good
doesn't
players
get
don't
injured,
need to
the
learn a
way they
system,
play on the left,
Christian.
Martinelli's on the bench.
Christian, respectfully, mate, a good player don't need to learn a system. Jack Grealish is just rocked up at Everton. Yeah, and he's running rings around everyone. Why? Because he's got away from Pep. Yeah, these players excel. Me and Matty were sat backstage after I did my podcast yesterday. Yeah, and we sat there and did the roundup of all the goals around Europe. All the goals around Europe. Yeah, all the leagues. Yeah, Lucas Torreira is balling out at Galatasaray. People go, oh, it's the Turkish league. Yeah, cool. The aim's still the same. You've got to put the ball in the back of the net. Yeah, Lucas Torreira got laughed out of town at our football club. Lucas Torreira is too small to play at this guy's system because he ain't 6 foot plus. This guy loves a 6 foot plus bulldozer. The problem with that is the next manager is going to be left with a squad of injured players with scars all over their bodies, not going to get £1 billion, not going to get the fan base give him the backing, and not going to have 6 years of bullshit excuses. And he's going to have to hit the ground running. And I'll tell you why I know that, because I've seen this after Arsene Wenger went. Nobody really was backing Unai Emery. The ones that wanted Wenger out, most of them were backing Unai. I was at the games. They were cheering in the clock end, when Frankfurt was scoring goals on us. But I'm negative. Well, the clock end were cheering Frankfurt goals to get Unai sacked. Yeah. Oh, it's toxic. Cool. Well, let's see what Alexis Sanchez does. Yeah, when he's at Sevilla at 39 years old. Aubameyang's still playing well, by the way. Aubameyang's still bagging goals. Yeah. Aubameyang, he was negative. Jack Grealish, still balling out. There's so many examples of this, bro. The fact and reality is this guy is too fucking petrified to go back to what he did before that Qatar World Cup. Because in his head, when he threw that 8-point lead, he's been super negative ever since tactically. Yeah, his substitutions are an absolute disgrace. Downman with 4 minutes to go. Are you mad? Martinelli for 70 minutes on the pitch. Eze comes on. Yeah, Szoboszlai is right back, by the way, in that game. Yeah, Szoboszlai. Yeah, and you're playing Martinelli, who've done nothing, and you're sitting there watching it for 70 minutes.
Do you know what?
Eze comes on. The first thing he does is flicks the ball straight past him. See you later, bruv. Yeah, fair enough. He gave it away after that, which is why Eze will get bombed out to the bench, because Eze will take risks, which means you give the ball away. This manager likes Martinelli because, number one, he goes back the way. Yeah. And number two, he'll get us corners. Yeah. And he'll retain the ball by getting us a corner or passing it back into midfield. Eze will be holding bench. Soon as 29's back, watch Gyökeres sit bench. Yeah. Because they retain the ball better. This guy is obsessed with possession. How much of the possession do we have in games? Say 70% in a game, 60%. How much is that of us knocking the ball backwards and sideways in our own half or just inside their half? How much of that is in the final third? How many times did Madueke take on a player and cross the ball to Gyökeres? None. He was actually our best player, by the way, and I don't rate that guy one fucking iota. He was our best player. That's how bad it was at Anfield. Liverpool do not need to beat us to win the league. They don't. They lost to us last year and still won the league. Yeah, we beat them at home and lost. And did we lose to them? We drew to them.
Drew, yeah.
Oh, sorry, we drew both. You're right. Sorry, my bad. Yeah, they still won the league. You don't have to beat Liverpool to win the league. I hear that. But when you're challenging them and they're the fucking title holders, go and stamp some authority down them. Go with an attacking formation. There's no excuses. Everyone's been crying out. Sorry, Dan. I'll say that. No, right. Everyone's been crying out for a striker. Well, we got the striker. Everyone's been crying out for a left forward. Well, Eze's apparently that guy now. Everyone's been crying out for Saka replacement or backup. Sorry. Well, we got that now. We've got Dalman. We've got Ethan. We've got mad attacking options, bro. And he goes there with Mikel fucking Merino in midfield with Declan Rice and Zubimendi.
Yeah, it was wrong.
Tells you all you need to know about this manager.
As soon as that team selection come out, everybody just was deflated. Let me do these supers, and I've got one more question before we come to a close from everyone. Solo Clip says, King Arteta, Igal's not rage quit, by the way, is somewhat up. Let's be fair.
No, he did.
Let's be fair. King Arteta talk with Eclipse. There we go, Hugo. Keenan says, Arnie risked subbing Curtis to shift the balance.
Facts, he played well when he came on, by the way.
Yeah, very good. Gunnar Carlos says, Christian, Szoboszlai made the difference versus Newcastle. To be fair, Szoboszlai playing at right back, that's been their best player in the last couple of games, in my opinion. Rambis says Stevie Wonder can see Odegaard and Arteta need to go.
Dan, before you carry on, sorry. McAllister's their best player, in my opinion.
Yeah,
I think he's unbelievable. What did that manager do at the weekend? He subbed off McAllister. Do you know why? Because he's just come back from fucking injury. Brought on Curtis Jones. Yeah, we would not do that.
Well, we're going to have to start doing it. TYG says, most importantly, we lose before the game started by starting Marino. I would have given Eze to start. Eze would create and pass to Gyökeres. Facts. Scott says there are no good teams in this shit league. I think that's a bit harsh. Liverpool pretty good. Mark Smith says, Igal, you only beat Spurs of a corner that never was. Every team can pick reasons to why they won and lost. Arsenal's quality team with a poor manager. Keenan says, Christian and Igal, Rice and Zubimendi are enough to control the midfield. The fact we didn't play a creative 10 is pure insanity. It's negative football. Tai G says it's criminal not passing to Gyökeres on transition. Only Eze could find those spaces. 1 billion to be the new Stoke. He's meant to be generational. Kahir says we lost the match because of Arteta's attitude. We showed more urgency after they scored without being reckless. We would have won the game if we showed that from the start. Mark Arthur Phillips says Northside, how do you rate this summer transfer window? To be fair to North, I think I'm not going to quote for him. I think he gave it like a 6 or a 7, but I might be getting people mixed up. Young says, what tactics? Not only did we lose, but haven't won as a club since 2012. What? We didn't just lose to 2012 Anfield, he means. We didn't just lose to a moment of magic. We lost because of the Arteta flawed approach of win by set pieces or draw. I actually agree with that. I think he did rely on set pieces. Igal's waffling. We're taking more risks playing out from the back than trying to create something up the pitch. I totally agree with that. Arteta's happy to lose 1-0 as long as he's not trash 5, so he can use excuses. I did say this with Judges the other day. I don't understand why Mikel Arteta wants to go rigid and not try and use his attack. But then he wants Raya to dick around with it at the back and take risks. Makes no sense to me at all. PD says if Arteta really wanted to save the game, would have taken Timber off and put Leo on one last roll of the dice. Same points for losing 1-0 or 2-0. Go for it. Kyle says, why is nobody mentioning Trossard, the captain clutch, being on the bench while Martinelli was out there playing like he's in a beer league? Martinelli shouldn't even be on the roster, let alone the team. He's a liability. A lot of people losing faith in Gabriel Martinelli. 3 or 4th season challenging, you have to step up to win it. Facts. Used to love Arteta, but I've seen Sunday too many times. Find a girl that defends you no matter what, like a gal defends Arteta. When are these delusional Arsenal fans going to wake up and smell the coffee? Ahmed, thank you so much for the super sticker and for this one. Lee is the realist. Sobozlai 1-0 screamer, hold that a gal. We got Warren G who says it's not an overreaction, Christian, when the same patterns have been happening for the past few years and not won a major or even a cup. Oregon Goon says if Sporting Lisbon can get a tune out of Gyökeres with that midfield, it is criminal for us not to be able to sack him now. And the last one is great, Dan. Gent Dan, big up to you. There's Arsenal before the Cronkies and Arsenal now. Weak ownership, weak management, weak fan base, all excuses, always the bridesmaid. Look, let me ask you this. The window is shut. Pick up everyone for the super chats. We've got over 4,500 people in here at one stage. Unbelievable. That's a new record for the channel, people. Make sure you hit like and subscribe and you're following every single one of these guys, please. Look, I've got to ask a genuine question, right? And I'll ask Lee this as well when he does come back. But I'll ask you as a panel first. Andrea Berta, fair play. I've got to say this. Like, he's walked into the club and he has done his job. He can sit and relax. He's trying to get Arteta, he's trying to get Saka and Saliba both signed, and apparently it's looking fairly confident that that's going to happen. Now, if he manages to get these contract extensions to Saka and Saliba on top of what he's already done with Gabriel, Ethan, Miles Lewis-Skelly, etc., bringing in 8 players, getting rid of 9 that, let's be real, no one's crying that they're leaving, that has to be an unbelievable first effort for him walking into the job. What that does, however, now is put huge pressure on the manager because he has literally got given everything that he wants. We have spent £300 million this window. We've never done that before. Ben Jacobs said it was going to happen. I did not believe it. If you would have told me that 5 players were coming into Arsenal, I would have raised my eyebrows. 8? I've never seen that before. So this is it now. But my question to you is, have we done enough? Is it enough to win a major honour at the Arsenal? What do we think, panel?
I think we've had enough. I don't know if I should say it. I think there's been enough potential to win in this side for a few years. I think in football, sometimes it doesn't go your way. It hasn't gone our way. 22, 23, got close, didn't happen. Injuries. No one thought we were going to win it. 23, 24, what was it? 2 points off in the end. We got 89 points. If City had drawn one more game, we would have won it. Those are the fine margins. At the end of the day, we weren't good enough. The cups have always been a massive problem with Arteta. And I've questioned him on this. I think being his first job, he hasn't known how to rotate properly. He hasn't known how to manage minutes properly. I said this last year in the Champions League as well. I was worried when we had Premier League games. I think we were out of the Carabao and the FA Cup. I was thinking, this is where a manager who hasn't managed at the top level before, this is where it worries me. How does he rotate the squad? How does he manage minutes? Does he, because we've seen it before with him. He hasn't managed minutes right. He hasn't managed Saka's minutes right at times, playing him in dead rubber games and Carabao Cup games, not taking him off, not giving youngsters more minutes. This is the season where it can't go wrong. This is the season where there can't be excuses about it's his first job. There can't be excuses about money spent. There can't be excuses about, mistakes and starting this player and that. It has to go right for him. Otherwise, it's over. And that's where I'm at. That's where I think most Arsenal fans are at. And I will say this, and I've said this before, and I'll say it again. I'm not going to turn and become, rant and scream about Arteta and that he's shit and that he's, he doesn't know what he's doing and he's clueless. Because I really don't think he's clueless or doesn't know what he's doing at all. I think he's a very, very smart guy. I think he's a top football manager. Just Pep Guardiola wanted him as his right-hand man. That tells you all that you need to know about Arteta. He's obviously a very intelligent guy. Obviously knows a lot about football. He captained Arsenal Football Club. Cool, Lee wants to say that he didn't play for Spain and this and that. He was captain of Arsenal. Right? There was a time he was a top Premier League player. You don't have to necessarily be the best player in the world to become a top manager. There are managers that, Arsene Wenger wasn't a top footballer. He became a top manager. Arne Slot, tell me who he played for. He's won the Premier League now. It doesn't always have to be Zidane's and these kind of players that make the top managers. So there's questions. I get it. 100% he's made mistakes. Like I say, he's made mistakes, this weekend. And if it doesn't happen this season, then it's probably time to go. But he's done a lot of good things for this football club. And I do believe if he doesn't win this season, he goes, or if he wins this season and he goes, that he's leaving us in a great place. I know people want to talk about injuries and Lee wants to mention scars on players' bodies, but teams get injuries. These things happen, injuries happen. But what he's done to this squad, the fact that he's made a lot of fans, even Lee, you can't deny this, I've heard you say on streams with us that this team has the potential to win the league and he's built this team, right? The fact that you believe this squad is good enough to win the Premier League says a lot about Mikel Arteta and his management. What he's done to this defence, this midfield, the attack, there's still questions, but what he's done with Saka, turning him into one of the best attackers in the world. Cool. Injuries you can question and overplay, and I get it. Now, he is, on this day, when Saka's fit, he's one of the best attackers in world football. Right? What he's done with this defence. Saliba and Gabriel, people say that it's the best defensive partnership in Europe. Mikel Arteta's made that. Right? I think Jurriën Timber's the best right-back in the league. He plays for Arsenal. All right? David Raya, the Golden Glove 2 years in a row. There is so many positives to talk about when it comes to this manager.
Cool. So why can't he win with all these best players then?
I've said this, Lee. I've said this. I'm saying...
Well, no. So he's a great manager. He's got great players. So why can't he win them?
I'm just saying he has built this squad. And if he's
he has built the squad, but why hasn't he won with it then if all of this is great, Christian?
But it is. That's the thing. Sometimes
we've got some very good players. I like a lot of the players at this club, by the way. So don't think I'm just being ultra negative.
He is bought in and he has built and he's improved.
Fantastic. So why hasn't he won with it then?
Because maybe he's not good enough.
Thank you. We get there in the end.
This is what I'm saying. I still back him. I still think he's a very, very good manager. But if this season he can't get over the line, we need to find someone else. I've said that.
But you said that last season, Christian.
No, I didn't actually.
Miguel said it last season. Everyone said it last season. He has to win a major. I was sitting there saying win a League Cup or he's got to go.
Real season where we thought we can actually challenge this season, but we didn't do enough in the transfer window. We didn't do enough in the transfer window, right? And I don't believe that was on Mikel Arteta. I think that was on this ownership and Edu. Right, bringing in Sterling on deadline day.
Come on,
bringing in Sterling on deadline day. I don't think that was Arteta's dream transfer window. Come on, man, be realistic. Yeah, Arteta was.
Why is he sitting there telling us after 5 minutes, guys? I had to sign him. He's got so much to prove, guys. So he's a bullshitter then.
No, man. Edu said in an interview we didn't plan to bring Sterling.
Thank you. So who planned to bring him in after 10 minutes on the phone, guys? I thought, this guy is so hungry, guys. He wants to prove a point, guys. So that's on the manager then. We've seen the evidence.
Was it? And in January, Arteta's in press conferences crying out that we haven't got enough going forward. We need goals.
Yeah, because he's realised that Sterling's a fraud.
They give him nothing. No, but I'm just saying there are reasons why it hasn't happened, right? Some his mistakes, some ownership, some injuries, right? There's a lot of things that make up professional football, top level elite sport, right? It's not just one man. And it hasn't just been one man for the past 6 years, the reason we haven't won. There's been more than one reason. Now bringing in Berta with the transfer window we've just had, yeah, it was an incredible window, right? We addressed everything. Lee, me and you sat on a stream a few months ago. You said the squad is absolutely finished. We're not going to bring in more than 4 or 5 players. Like Dan just said, we brought in 8 players. Right?
Yeah, we got rid of 9. So it's almost like it was a rebuild.
It was a rebuild. I said it was a rebuild. Egal's chatting about rebuild, man. Right? It's a rebuild. 100%. We needed it. Right? But like I said, there's no excuses now. And I think this squad is in a very good... Cool, we just lost against Liverpool. People are going to, look at that. It was right now, right? It happened on Sunday. Cool. But there was, like I said, again, there was fine margins in that game between us and who.
But there was fine margins against Real Madrid, Christian. Fine margins against Madrid. 2 Declan Rice free kicks. Doesn't matter about fine margins, bro. Let's be real. Are you worried about playing Everton this season? Because I am.
I'm not.
Cool. Are you worried about playing Fulham?
I'm not worried about playing anyone else. I think we can beat any team in this league.
Yeah, we can, but will we? And that's the point. We lose to West Ham. We lose to Bournemouth. We lose to Fulham. Yeah, we draw with Everton.
We lost 4 games, man.
Yeah, and we drew about 14.
Draws killed us.
Right? Thank you. Why?
We didn't have that quality in attack to get over the line and kill teams when we had the chance.
Okay, so Christian, be real, yeah, right? Be real. So we didn't have the quality to get over the line when it really mattered, like in tight games, yeah? We know most teams are going to park the bus against us and we're going to play U-shaped football on the edge of the box and play for corners, yeah? Right? How many chances has Victor Gyökeres been served up this season in the games that he's played? How many? How many chances have we created as a football club? I'll tell you what, yeah, I guarantee Sunderland have created, probably the only team that have created less than us. Yeah, because we don't create nothing, bro. When I'm looking at other teams, Newcastle.
Games, man. You can't talk about.
Okay, that's fine.
We played one sec. Let me answer your question. We played away at Old Trafford, right? It was limited to chances. We didn't play well that game. They had one chance where he cut in on the right and fluffed it. Cool. I understand that game we were poor. Against Leeds, he had chances. He had the one where it got nicked off. I can't remember who took it off the defender and he scuffed it.
He scuffed it wide, yeah.
The chance on the left, I know you said it wasn't a chance, but that he thrives in those positions. Yeah, good ball from Calafiori.
Then he scored twice, but he made his own chance.
Scores a penalty.
The penalty. So 2 chances so far.
Yeah.
2 chances in 3 games.
And then we played against who people are saying is the best team in the league.
Okay,
right?
that's fantastic. Well, you're dismissing Man United, yeah, by the way, because you're making up Man United. You're saying, Man United. But you're the same fans, yeah, respectfully, they're saying, they're fucking shit. They finished 15th.
I
know you. I'm not saying you personally. What I'm saying is there's a lot of fans that were laughing at Man United for being 15th. I was one of them. I did a show with Rancelli. I said, long may it continue. Keep him. Yeah, I hate them. Yeah, when we beat them, they were still 15th. Do you know how funny that is? However, yeah, we made them look decent. They didn't play Grimsby, and Grimsby scored 4 goals. 2 were disallowed. How can't we create 4 goal scoring opportunities and put the ball in the back of the net? They actually created more. Why aren't we doing that?
That's not always how football works, though. Right?
Yeah, but I know football's all about trophies, Christian, and we ain't won one for nearly 6 years, five and a half years or whatever it is.
Well, on that, that's a nice segue. That's a nice quick segue. Let me bring Dee and Hugo in on this round, right? Because I've been wanting the Cronkies out for God knows how long, right? And I've wanted the Cronkies out, and I believe that they should have sacked him last season. That's just my opinion. Some people think that's not right, but that's up to them. I think they should have sacked him. Since they haven't sacked him, I've been putting the heat and the pressure on them. And then today, after a window that I think's been pretty good, after Andrea Berta being appointed, I then see this come out. Now, this is very interesting.
I already know what you're going to... Yeah, I fucking knew it. I fucking knew it, Dad.
Right. Josh Kroenke held a meeting with Arteta discussing what he expects this season. He's given Arteta everything he's asked for, and he expects to have a successful season. Trophies must be won. Let me come to you on that point, D. Do you think that the Cronkies are now literally saying to Arteta, this is your last chance?
Nah, no way. They're just no chance. I don't believe that at all. I think they're just if this is an official statement, they're just saying that to please the fan base. But no way. Arteta's nowhere near being sacked. He's nowhere near it. Like, I know people like to think he is, but he's nowhere near it, man. Like,
so you think just top 4 again, no trophy, he'll stay? because
I don't think it's top 4. I think what will happen is I think they will only budge when the fan pressure becomes a lot, when it starts affecting pockets and when it becomes toxic. That's when owners or people really, really budge. Because the fact of the matter is, unless you're a diehard fan of the club and understand the history and the culture of the club from young, how much do you really care if they're winning everything or whether they're making money? There's no proof of it. Like, you know what I mean? That's the real point of it. We don't know how much. Like, we know, what's the Norwich lady? I can't remember her name. Is it Delia Smith, isn't it?
Delia Smith.
Where are you? We need a 12th man.
We know how much she cares. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's right or wrong, we know how much she cares. I don't know. Like, even with these owners, I can't say they don't care. I'm not going to say they don't care, because they probably do. But they definitely don't. They can't say that they love the club more than you do, Dan, or Gunnar does, or Hugo does, or I do, or Christian does. I mean, do you know what I mean? Like, that's the type of love I'm talking about. Because I know if one of you lot were in charge of the club, then
I'd sack the whole fan base.
Yeah, it would be a serious thing, though. I mean, it'll be like, this is, I know what you're doing is for the best for the club, or you're trying to be anyway. So I can't say that they will sack Arteta, because in their head, they're achieving everything they need to be achieving, and obviously trophies are the be all and end all, but I can't speak for them because I have no idea how much they love this club.
Can I tell you what those conversations would be like? They won't be about trophies. Those conversations will be about business, and they'll be about money, right? And I'll tell you why. I'll read you this. The new 2025-26 Champions League format, right? Participation. So if you qualify for the Champions League, you get 18.6 million euros. If you win a game in the league phase of the Champions League, you get 2.1 million euros. If you draw, you get 700k. All right. If you finish top, you get 9.9 million. If you qualify for the round of 16 of the Champions League, you get 11 million euros. If you get to the quarters, you get an extra 12.5 million. Get to the semis, you get 15 million. The final, you get 18.5 million. And if you win it, you get 6.5 million. Okay. So the difference between
say that again. You get 6.5 million for winning it, but you get 18 million for getting to the
No. So it all builds up.
No, collectively. But if you actually win it, you only get 6.5 mil
extra.
So you only get accumulative.
That tells you what you need to know about football.
Then the team that
you get less for winning it than you do for qualifying for the semis.
Crazy. Right. So this is where those conversations won't come down to winning trophies. If Arteta gets to the final of the Champions League, Arsenal only makes 6.5 million euros less than the team that wins it. You think the Cronkies care if they?
That's the same. Sorry to cut over you. Yeah, sorry, Christian.
The money coming in is that much.
When we finished 5th under this manager, Man City won the league. Yeah, we earned 9 million less than them that season. Yeah, 9 million for league finish. Forget all the revenue that they get coming in for shirts and all of that stuff. Yeah, and sponsorship. But for league finish, we earned 9 million pounds less than the team that won the league, and we finished 5th. They don't give a fuck about this club. Yeah, and this is why when everyone's jumping on the bandwagon, we got super duper. Well, who hired them? The guys that nobody likes. Yeah, and we're going round and round and round, wasting time. Yeah, the fact and reality is they've actually, to be fair to them, since they've been full ownership, they've laid £1 billion on the table.
Exactly.
Yeah, so it's now on the manager.
Yeah, they've backed him. They've definitely backed him financially. But the thing is, as well, is like it's about how much difference it makes to them whether they win or not. Like, would they break? Like, as you can see with say some of the choke, like when Abramovich was in charge, or certain players, certain owners will break their own philosophy and their own morals to kind of make sure that they win because they feel that that's the be all and end all. Like Arsenal are not going to do that. They're going to try and win within the constraints that they've set.
They're just happy to finish 4th and that's the cherry on the top, yeah.
Yeah, it's not even about
everyone's sitting there talking about Liverpool doing 400 million since January, yeah. Right. Fact is, Liverpool has spent hardly anything under Klopp. Yeah, like let's be real with it. Yeah, they've won everything, and they've probably spent less than this manager has in 6 years, and Klopp was there 9.
But the point I was making is, I think that the be all and end all when it comes down to it is the squad is good enough to win the league. That's the point. That's what it comes down to. Regardless of whether they'll spend more or not, this squad is good enough to win the league, and that's the be all and end all. Do I look at this squad and feel like if there was a top manager in charge of this squad, would they win the league? If we had this squad, the same squad for the last 5 years, with I don't know any of the superstar managers in the world, we would have won the league at least once in the last 5 years.
Yeah, I think he's going to get sacked.
At least.
I actually disagree with you. I think that the Conte is a stingy. It's hurt them to spend this billion
They
quid.
spent the money, bro. They
They've
spent money,
the
though, bro.
They're stingy, but that's what I'm saying. So for them to spend $1 billion, a stingy person spends money, it hurts it even more. So they've spent that $1 billion, and they're also thinking about international now. You know, the whole Arteta project. If it's not delivering, you can set new merchandise up, a new manager, new hope, new fans. Do you know what I mean? They're going to think of all of that. So I think he has to win something this season, and it can't be a minor thing. I think it has to be a big thing, because they're going to say, look, we've given you everything. We've given you the players now. And I agree with you. I think he has got the players. The issue that I feel that is going to happen, he's going to have an excuse. An excuse is going to be this: our injuries. Because I don't know. I want to get the panels, like, kind of your guys, because you guys might know more than me. What is causing all of these serious injuries? What is causing them? Because it's every year. It's massive. Remember, we were going to win the Europa Cup.
Managers overplayed them, Hugo.
Is it just
what serious injuries are you talking about? Which ones are you talking about specifically?
I'm talking. You just look at the history. Remember, we're going to win the Europa Cup. Saliba gets injured. Tomiyasu gets injured. Same game, we lose that. Then the whole season collapsed as soon as Saliba got injured. Then we had Jesus that got injured last year. Saka got injured last year. Ben White was injured last year. This season, Norgard is injured already.
Where is he?
Yeah, Norgard is injured.
Where's Ben White? Where's Ben White? Man?
Tomiyasu, we had to terminate. Tierney, there must be something that we're doing in training, or they're over getting training.
Thomas Partey, Jesus.
This is what I'm saying. Like, it's not normal, bro. And like, we talked about patterns, because it's always an excuse. Or if you have the injuries, what's causing the injuries? You know, is this a way of play? Is the way we're training? Do you know what I mean? And this is a really important point, because he'll always say, "Oh, you know what? If I had these, I had 20 injuries," but you're the one that caused them. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but injuries ain't an excuse for me. Real Madrid, had more injuries than any club in the world. Yeah, and they still won. Yeah, a Champions League, a league, and a Supercopa de España under Ancelotti. Yeah, they were playing Carvajal at centre back.
Yeah, but
they were playing Chouameni next to him. People sit there and say you can't compare us to Real Madrid. No. Well, we can, because guess why? We've outspent them for the last 13, 14 years.
Yeah, but you're talking about what they won in Spain League.
No, we're talking Europe as well, Hugo, yeah? Right? Why can't we compare ourselves to the team we smashed the stadium down for? To be like them. Why? Because that's what Peter Hillwood told us.
It's only been recent, let's be honest.
No, Real Madrid continually win.
We should have. But what I will say before you finish is that I think if Norgard was fit, I think he would have played instead of Zubimendi.
But what's his injury? I don't even know what his injury is.
No one knows. No one knows how long they're out for. No one knows how long Havertz is out for.
And he lied about that bullshit in his press conference, the pre-match. Yeah, he lied about that. Yeah, and do you know what? David Ornstein, the way he worded the tweet was saying, 29 is going to have surgery on a knee problem. It's not a major, what did he say? It's not a major procedure. No, it's not a major procedure. It'll take about 45 minutes, mate, but it's a major problem that he's there in the first place. And the way he worded that, everyone's going, oh, well, that's calm because it's not a massive problem then. No, it's not a major procedure. This is a guy who's just come off a grade 3, by the way, hamstring, which he did in warm weather training. Now he's done a knee. Yeah, Saka, again, injured. How many times did I sit here last season? I say, these players are all fucked. Yeah, Timber will be another one. Declan Rice will be another one. So Gabby and Saliba will be another one. We're going to lose all our best players this season again. And Saka and some of these other players, when it comes to World Cup, some of these players, Odegaard is going to duck out of tackles come January onwards because he's going to qualify for the World Cup. He's going to be the captain walking his team out for the first time since '98 in a World Cup finals. Yeah, you think that guy is going to be flying into tackles in January onwards? Yeah, now not only that, when you look at Jesus, I'm lighter than ever. Well, your bank balance is heavier than ever, mate. Yeah, we've got two players, our two most expensive wages. Yeah, they're both injured non-stop. 2 surgeries for one of them and 4 for the other one. This is this manager's doing, Hugo. Yeah, it's his the manager's doing. When he's standing there and sitting there and openly admitting Saliba said he'd done his ankle in the warm-up at Anfield. At that point, Yeah, and do you know what's crazy? When I looked back here, because I was like, yo, Mosquera's coming on. But you notice he was ready to go. He didn't have to put his kit on, didn't have to go and do a warm-up. That manager should have made that decision. Arsene Wenger would have made that decision and said, no, you're not playing. Fergie would have said, no, you ain't playing. Do you know why? Because it's a long season. It's not about just this game. Unfortunately for us as fans, this manager is all about the now, today, which is cool. It's a today business. You have to win today. But you don't look at the long term. The reason Liverpool, PSG, Barcelona, Real Madrid, so on and so forth, Man Cities, the Chelseas of this world, they all get to latter stages of multiple competitions is because they manage their squads better. Yeah, Jurgen Klopp spent probably less money than this manager. Fair enough, inflation and all of that, whatever. Cool. They beat us with their kids, mate. Yeah. Guess what? You're seeing Erling Haaland sitting on the bench at games. You're seeing Jack Grealish sat on bench at games. Riyad Mahrez scored a hat-trick against Sheffield United in the treble-winning season. Yeah, big up D, bro. Yeah, pause. Yeah, in the treble-winning season, Riyad Mahrez scored a hat-trick against Sheffield United in the FA Cup semi-final. The next game they played Bayern Munich. He was benched. Now imagine Saka scores a hat-trick. Are we benching him? The fans are riot. Yeah, but that's the difference, and that is why they go on and win. Yeah, this is why Liverpool go on and win and get to that stage. This is why Chelsea get to finals. This is why Barca and Real Madrid always arrive.
But it's not just that. Don't you think we've got a weak mentality as well? Like,
yeah, but that comes from the fans, Hugo.
No, it's not just the fans, though.
The fans facilitate the owners.
It comes from the manager, bro. It comes from the manager has to put it in them that basically you can win and you got to win.
Yeah, but I believe he gives a fuck. This is the point. I think he cares.
Odegaard shouldn't be the captain. Like, we all know that. We know Rice should be the captain, but then apparently, or Gabriel, because they're winners. Odegaard, I've seen him pull out tackles. I've seen him. Remember at Newcastle when we could have finished top 4, he missed the shot. Crystal Palace misses the shot.
He passed the ball the other day when he should have took a shot. I'm watching all these Bundesliga roundups, the Turkish league, the French league, La Liga. I'm sitting there with Matty until 5 a.m. Yeah, yesterday or this. Well, it's midnight now, so yesterday. Me and Matt were doing the circuit around Europe, sat backstage after the podcast. We set up a little backstage thing like this, and we're sharing the screen. And I'm going, mate, look at the fucking quality of football these teams are playing. We're watching La Liga 2 teams running rings around each other. It's quality football. They're attacking.
There's no belief. And if you don't believe...
There's belief from the manager, but he's winging it, Hugo. And the problem for me, these players are all getting paid too much money. And they're all shit.
See, let's be real. I disagree with you, Lee. I think he's done a good job to get us to a certain level, but I think that's it. I think thank you very much. I worked in a corner shop. I'm Asian. So I said, thank you, come again. You know? That was it. Thank you, come again. Like, you know, he might be all right in 5 years' time. So I thought make it like I've got
that's class, man. I can't lie.
Lee, let me ask you one more question, bro, because I've got to ask you this. Is it true that you got agenda against Arteta because he didn't give you an autograph? Because that's
load of fucking bullshit, bro. Bro, I see so much shit about me on the internet, yeah. I'm a transvestite pub singer. Yeah, I'm a pool cleaner. I'm a nonce. Yeah, I fled because I get beaten up at games. Yeah, I fucking what's the other? Oh, like what was the other one? Yeah, what's the fucking other one I see the other day? Oh, that was the other one. Yeah, I send letters to the dementia-ridden fucking grandmas. Like, bro, it's words on. Yeah, I don't pay my taxes. Well, it came out my fucking Spanish bank on the 30th of June, mate. Like, it's bullshit, bro. It is what it is. Yeah, and people are so concerned about me. More so than being concerned that we're a 5-year trophy drought. And do you know why? Do you know why that is, Hugo? Yeah, real talk. Yeah, real talk. Because they're fucking rattled at this channel. Well, not this channel. Well, Dan's channel, to be fair, does get mad traction. Yeah, they're rattled that I have no filter and I call people out and I call it as it is. And I've been right about this manager.
Dan channel, you didn't like Arteta. You didn't even give him a chance, bro.
No, because he was no facts. Do you know why? Based off of the fact he'd managed one football match, bro. And he lost it as the assistant for Man City. Yeah, when you look at Xavi Alonso, everyone's hyped Xavi Alonso up, yeah? Right? Great footballer. It doesn't matter whether you were a great footballer. Jose was a shit footballer. Wenger was a shit footballer. Yeah, Fergie was a bad boy, by the way. Yeah, however, it doesn't matter whether you were a good footballer or not. Yeah, the fact is, they'd all managed teams. Fergie had managed St Mirren at 32 years old and gotten promoted to Scottish Premier League. Fergie won 3 or 4 titles that Aberdeen have in their history. Yeah. They beat Real Madrid in a final, bro. When you look at Xavi Alonso, he managed Sociedad B team before he got Leverkusen. When you look at Zidane, he managed Real Madrid Castilla, the youth team. Then he got the job. Pep managed the Barca B team. Every single manager that you look at, that you go, yo, actually, they're pretty good. Yeah, I'll give it the. And I know there's a super. I know Dan's got super chats and he wants to rap. Yeah, but I'll answer the super. There's one that says, "Who's a realistic option?" Dan, please pin that, and I'll give the realistic option right now.
One more question before the super chats, bro. It might rattle him though. Would you take Arsene Wenger back right now?
In a fucking heartbeat.
I would as well. I would take
in a heartbeat.
Arsene Wenger would get.
Give Arsene Wenger £1 billion. Yeah, I'm telling you right now, we
don't
play
need to
fucking
put the
sexy
squad
football
already.
and we dominate this league. Yeah, because this league is shit. It is the worst league in Europe.
Arsene
It's
Wenger.
rubbish, bro. Every game is the same as watching the game before. Robotic crap football, playing for corners, and everyone's falling around. Yeah, women's football. Barcelona women are better than most of these Premier League footballers.
Football, bro. I don't.
Barcelona women won 8-0 in their first game the other day. Yeah, go and have a look at the goals. Yeah, the goalkeepers are shit in women's football, to be fair. Sorry to all you ladies out there, but they're too small. They're too small, but the ballers are balling. Right? That question right there. Who would I want after Arteta? Be realistic. We're Arsenal Football Club, mate. Right? That's the first thing I'll say. What do you mean be realistic? What does that even mean? Realistic. What, you're telling me we can't go and get the better managers? So if you want me to be realistic by lowering the bar so you can then say, wow, fuck it, what's the other one? Cool. Matthias Giselle, mate. Who? Cool. What about Arsene? Who? Should we go and get Nagoya Grampus 8's manager then? Millwall's manager. They're Bolton's manager. Yeah, should we go and get them? I'll tell you who I want. Matthias Giselle. That guy managed Salzburg reserve teams. Right? He's 37 years old. He's German. He's got the best looking drip we've seen. He's the best looking German we know. Right? He now manages Al Ali, that just beat Ronaldo FC to another trophy, by the way, in the final, after winning their version, the Asian version of the Champions League. Yeah, Mahrez, Tony, all them, man, Frank Kessie, blah, blah, blah. That guy left Salzburg, so he did the reserve teams and worked his way up. Right? He then got the first team job at Salzburg. First season, double. Second season, retained the title. Got out the Champions League group stage, first time ever in their history. He then leaves. They ain't won a league since. He goes to Mahrez FC. They didn't win nothing, but qualified for the Champions League. Yeah. First season in the Champions League, won it. And now a couple of days ago, a week ago, yeah, he then wins the Super Cup. He's won 5 trophies in 2 different leagues. And he's 37 and he's managing big egos. You're telling me that guy can't come in and manage us? He's got Galeno on the left wing from Porto that run rings around us, by the way. Yeah, do you remember when we played Porto and he spanked the bar and then missed the rebound? Yeah, he's got Riyad Mahrez, Ivan Toney. How come Toney ain't got an attitude problem with him? Oh, because it was media bullshit, colour thing and that. Yeah, do you know what I'm saying? Bro, that's a realistic option. I'll take Girona's manager in a fucking heartbeat as well.
15 million a year, yeah. You can take anyone you want. I'll go and get Luis Enrique, pay him 15 million a year. Go just
don't get Hansi Flick.
Would you take Cesc Fabregas? Would you take Cesc Fabregas?
No, I don't want another ex-player at this club after this management. Never in a million years.
Eddie Howe or
I'll take Glasner and Eddie Howe in a heartbeat. Yeah, Matthias Giselle in a heartbeat. Yeah, I'll take Michel Sanchez, the Girona manager, in a heartbeat. How are you the equivalent of Luton Town? Yeah, and you have them rattling Real Madrid, Barca, and Atleti until the end of March. Yeah. Oh, but it's City Group. Cool. Well, they stayed up last season and they've started this season by getting walloped by. I'll take Marcelino of Villarreal, by the way. Yeah, he's got Nicolas Pepe looking like a different player, mate. They're balling. They're a problem in the champs. We don't want to run into them. Yeah, and this is the thing, yeah. When people say realistic option, what's that even fucking mean? We're Arsenal Football Club, the 3rd biggest club in England.
He's come back, Lee, and said, I mean, realistic in a way because we're not getting Enrique or Flick because of their ongoing projects at their teams.
Ongoing projects don't exist at these football clubs. They don't exist at these clubs. How comes, yeah? Xavi Alonso, was that a realistic option? He was at Leverkusen, sorry. He goes to to Real Madrid. First game of the season in the league, they're getting booed off. Yeah, Barcelona, if Hansi Flick fucks up and loses the next 3 games, he'll be sacked. Facts.
What about this guy? He's look at this.
Bilbao's manager. Yeah, Bilbao's manager, Valverde. He's decent. Yeah, he's decent.
Xavi or Glasner, please, he says.
Xavi, I do not rate him one fucking... Xavi's a scrub. However, he's a winning scrub.
Yeah, I don't rate Xavi.
He's rubbish, bro. Yeah, that guy's too emotional to be a manager in the Premier League.
I want Arsene Wenger back.
I'd say Luis Enrique or Hansi Flick, either of those two.
Yeah, but forget them, Dan, yeah, because they say they're not realistic, yeah? Well, cool. Iriola, no, he ain't won nothing. I want a manager that's won stuff and plays good football. Yeah, or a manager that's won stuff and plays shit football. I've seen George Graham. I grew up on George Graham.
Yeah, same, bro.
Yeah.
Same. I'd
But
still
then we've
take.
seen,
people
then
laugh
we've
when I
seen
say it.
Wenger.
I'd still take Simeone and Conte, but everyone
I'll
laughs.
take Simeone. I'll take Jose. I'll take Jose Mourinho right now.
I
He's
wouldn't take
available.
Jose Mourinho, bro. He's
Take Jose in a fucking heartbeat. Because you know why? If we're going to play this negative haram football, yeah, cool. That guy's won 27 trophies doing it.
Yeah.
And he's managed the biggest players in the world.
What about Nagelsmann? LB was talking about Nagelsmann, no?
No, don't rate him. However, he is a winning manager, but
that's what I mean. He's a
I
winner.
don't rate him. His style of football is all right, yeah, but well, listen,
like
we'll have 29 at left back. He did that for Germany and he scored when he played at left back.
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
But don't you think Eddie Howe gets the best out of Gordon? He's made him a better Isaac. He's made him.
I like Eddie Howe.
Every single player.
Glasner,
The
I'll
only
take
thing I'll say
Glasner.
about Eddie Howe is
Glasner's
when they
done well.
played Liverpool the other day and they were 2-2, yeah, with 10 men, yeah. Obviously, always play for a win. I always want to just keep going and keep going. But then you have to think, do you know what? This is the champions. We've had a touch here. It's 2-2. Let's not be so gung-ho with 3 minutes of stoppage time out of 11 to go. Yeah. And that is the naivety of Eddie Howe. Yeah. He's a very good coach. But when it comes to the crunch moments, Arne Slot changed that game by taking off Cody Gakpo and bringing on a 16-year-old boy. Yeah. That Eddie Howe should have just gone retreat at 2-2. And we'll try and scam a win on the break because Liverpool have to push for the win. Instead, he basically gifted them the win.
All right, top three. Put it in order. I want you both of you guys, yeah? Arsene Wenger, Glasner, Eddie Howe. In what order would you take them?
I'll take Glasner, Howe, Wenger because Wenger, I think, coming back just goes on just rewinds, man. Like all that just can't happen again, man.
Never
Wenger
go back to your ex.
Yeah, never go back to your ex.
Oh, no, he's a better manager than this motherfucker.
I'll say this: if we would have kept Wenger, we would have won something by now. But I wouldn't reappoint him, is what I would say. Let me do these supers, man, and then we need to get out of here. So this for unique. I ain't seen you for ages, bro. Hope you're well,
He's
man.
my guy, bro.
He is. He's a legend. Shout out to Danley and North for being at the winners' table. Cigars to all of you. Hugo, welcome aboard and maintain that seat now, my guy. As for the rest, you have a lot of work to do. A lot. Big up, Unique. Love you, bro. Mark says Arsenal no different to Poch and Spurs. Both failed. Do you know what? That's a great analogy. To be fair,
with about 700 million quid more spent.
Yeah, one FA Cup to show for it. That's it. Gianni Talks says 1.3 bill, 0 trophies. Only in England will people come up with excuses. Arsenal standards are trash. 1.3 billion buys Inter Milan. Oh my god. That's mad. Keenan says Arteta sacrificed our attacking and fluidity for extreme levels of control. We can't win the title with a handbrake on. Cut the parachute. Yeah, facts. And then
Iriola, no. But did you see Manu Petit? Did you hear Manu Petit on TalkSport?
I didn't, but I see this thumbnail, but I didn't click on it, man. I need to watch it.
He was basically saying, yeah, I do this on watch along, so I know you want to wrap down, so I'll keep this short, yeah.
Yeah, no,
right? He was saying, I'm not going to play the clip, but it goes on for like 8, 9, 10 minutes or whatever, yeah. Right. He was basically saying, I wanted to see Arsenal go there and attack. Yeah, I wanted to see Arsenal. You have to have drama. You have to have movement. Yeah, it's going. Martinelli's not been good. Yeah, you go there with defensive tactics. Yeah, pass, sideways. You pass me the ball, I pass it back, guys. I pass you the ball, you pass it back to me, guys. And he goes, even in the last 5, 10 minutes, you want to throw everyone forward, guys. Yeah, like, what are we doing here? And he was basically saying, he said, I was very disappointed, yeah, with what I witnessed. Yeah, but he was basically saying, this is what the manager is. Yeah, you've got a good opportunity to go and beat the champions. Yeah, and you have to cause drama. He said, I've played in teams where we were just boom, 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 and as you have to just forget the tactics and go. Yeah, and then he said, I watched Jokeris. He called him Jokeris. Yeah, so people in my chat were calling him Jokeris, right? Jokeris. He goes, I watched Jokeris, yeah, for 10 minutes straight. I just focused on him. Dan, how many times do I sit on a fucking watch along with Matty and Ola and say, forget where the ball is, stop watching the ball, watch Odegaard for 5 minutes straight. Even if he goes out of camera, you know where he is roughly on the pitch. Just watch him. Just watch 29 for 4 or 5 minutes. Yeah, now let's see if he's hiding. Yeah, Odegaard is passing the ball to Declan Rice, not this season, last season, passing the ball to Declan Rice, running away from the ball behind 5 players and asking for the ball. Rice is going, I can't give you the ball, bro. Yeah, and he's fucking throwing his arms up in the air. You're a coward. 29 was hiding behind the referee the first season he was here. Yeah, and I do this, and my chat know this. And when Petit landed the fucking minerals, big up Johnny Minerals, yeah, when he landed the minerals, yeah, and said, I watched Gyökeres for 10 minutes straight. He was making great runs. Nobody's finding him. Nobody's finding him.
Peter
29 does the same.
Schmeichel did it as well, Schmeichel called it out and said, I hope Liverpool win because this is a disgrace to football, what Arsenal are doing. I was like, wow. And Lundberg called it out as well, to be fair to him. And
What's Lundberg said?
Lundberg was saying something along the lines of, he wasn't really saying as much as Petit and Peter Schmeichel, but he was sort of saying, this is the way Arteta wants to play. And without saying it, he's got to win doing it. Otherwise, it ain't going to be pretty.
Well, I need to see that. Where was that? Was that
I don't know.
video?
Michael were on. I don't know what channel it was. It was like a miracle.
I didn't see the Lundberg shit. I see the
Lundberg and Peter Schmeichel. Yeah, Peter Schmeichel and Lundberg were together commentating. So yeah, Albert's just messaged me the Petit thing. Big up to you, bro. And there's a lot of people calling this out. Yeah, it's horrendous.
This is the thing. Yeah, they're all jealous. They're all jealous of Mikel Arteta. Thierry Henry's got a fucking statue, mate. Petit's won a World Cup.
Yeah, I disagreed with you a couple of years ago. You know that year where we bottled it. It was a bottle job, but we were playing.
I remember. See, when Dan said Hugo's coming on, I didn't know I recognise your face now. Yeah. That was when you was going, we're going to win the league. Yes, fucking you've got the best young players in the league.
Do you know I remember that? Bro, I'll tell you something. That year caused me a divorce, bro. That year, I swear to God, bro. Because I get so emotionally invested in it, bro.
Bro, tap out, man. These players are shit. The manager's shit, and the club don't fucking care.
Alcaraz scored. You know that Southampton game when fucking Ramsdale was looking at the pigeon? I fucking lost the plot, bro. I fucking broke the TV. And I think that my wife realized at the time.
She was like, this guy's tapped.
No, she goes like, if you want to go and swear and shout, we've got neighbours, get out of the house. But no, I fucking love Arsenal. We're going to win it next year.
Anyway, so you're a market opportunity is what you're saying.
That's what he said. Freddie Lumber, big up to DJ Dens every time, man. Cheers for this. He said, I love beautiful football. I was proud to represent this team, but I didn't see any of that from Arsenal today. There we go.
Fucking see, when these players, and Freddie Lumbo barely speaks. Yeah. So when he calls it out, you have to listen. Yeah. Same with all the ex-players. Yeah. However, there's 3 or 4 of them that have totally sold their soul for a pound note on TalkSport. Yeah. Ray Parlour, Martin Keown. Yeah. Ian Wright. Yeah. They've all sold their soul for a pound note.
I love those players.
I love all them players. They're all legends of our club, by the way.
Yeah, facts.
But Theo Walcott. Why was Theo Walcott at the Champions League draw?
Yeah. What was that?
What's that all about?
Is he our new ambassador or something? That was bizarre.
Yeah, because he's now bouncing for a pound note.
Shall I tell you something funny? What Theo Walcott said on Sky Sports? He goes, when it comes to the last minute, his decision making is not right. He has too much time to think. I was thinking, you fucker. That's what we always used to say about you. You could never make the right decision.
And do you know what? How many of these players do you reckon have scored more goals than him at Arsenal? Maybe Saka. That's probably about it. Yeah, he's got over 100 goals for this club.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, only Saka's going to overtake that if he stays.
I had this conversation earlier on a stream saying, do you know, like there's players that the fans loved, but you never quite got it. Like you liked it and thought, good player, but where the hell's the hype con? And I mentioned a couple of them. Arshavin for me, right? He was a great player, but people were like putting him into this elite level, and I thought, I'm not sure he's elite level.
Wenger killed him.
Podolski was another one I never really got.
Because he jumped in the crowd at fucking White
Hart Lane. Yeah, they loved him once. I mean, Emmanuel Eboué was another one. The crowd loved him, and I never quite got it. Like a few people mentioned some names, and some of them I disagreed with, like Hleb and Rosicky. I thought they were quality. Walcott is one at 100. I kind of get it, but like 100 goals, man, you can't deny it.
But Giroud's another. He falls in the bracket. Giroud scored over 100 goals for this club.
And Giroud was incredibly underappreciated.
He left Arsenal and fucking got better.
He has won everything in the game. Yeah. Left Arsenal, won everything. Let me just do these last few and then we will wrap. This comes in from Iron. He says 15 million a year. Any manager comes. Wake up, people. I agree. Big up to Joe. Hope you're well, bro. Says big up Dan in the panel. Rice been poor United and Liverpool. He's poor against United. I didn't think Rice was that bad against Liverpool personally, but
I thought he done all right against Liverpool.
Yeah, I thought he was. Warren says as much as I want Arteta gone, I wouldn't want Wenger back. He showed for years he was past it. He lost the title to Leicester. Don't go back to an X. There we go.
Can I just say something on that? Sorry, Dan. Before you go to the next one, everyone has to read this book, bro. It's the greatest football book.
I've met that guy outside Stamford Bridge.
No, but read the book, bro. Read the book. If you can't read, go to Audible and download it, bro. Literally, bro, it will explain everything. Like, honestly, I want to put it on You can get through it in 2.5. Bro, he explains everything what went wrong. Wenger was covering for the Conques. He basically says it.
100, but we knew this.
No, but the way he breaks it down. Like,
I love
that
David
was
Dean,
not
man.
when that was not Arsene Wenger. That was not the elite Arsene. He was basically
He sold out for £1 note, Hugo. He was the highest paid manager in the world to cover their asses.
It was that.
Course.
I love Wenger because I think it was more out of the respect and his values and all of that. That's what it was.
Yeah, his values. Yeah, really. He couldn't even divorce his wife, mate. Yeah.
Let's not talk about divorce, bro.
His values.
Let me do these. Let me do these.
He was shagging some French rapper.
Semi-finals 5-1, and then the nuts. It says big up Lee, Dan, and Hugo. I'll take Poch over Arteta.
No. That guy's a scrub. No. That's too far, brother.
No.
Don't get me wrong. I think Poch did good things at Tottenham, but
He did fuck all. Won nothing, Dan.
Yeah. No. In terms of like getting Tottenham to where
they played a good style of football, which is all they want. Yeah. And to be fair, he did get him in a. But he had Harry Kane fucking 30 goals a season guaranteed. Yeah, cool. And I'll tell you something now, yeah. Harry Kane's one of the greatest footballers of all time. Yeah, and he wasted his career at Spurs.
Yeah, he did. He 100% did. He could have won a treble at Man City and won a bloody Ballon d'Or or something if he wanted.
He could have gone Man United. He could have gone any club in the world, mate.
Yeah, facts, mate. Facts. I agree. Look, man, we're going to send you over to LB. Big up to everyone that's here, man. There's been a channel record tonight, 4.9k live. I've never had that before, so I'm absolutely big up to every single one.
How many subs you on, Dan?
Appreciate. I'm on now. I'll tell you how many subs I'm on exactly because it's on my screen right now. If my computer decides to wake up, I'm literally on at the moment 52,468. So if we can get that up to 53, that'd be amazing.
We'll go for 100. We'll get you 100 by the end of the season, bro.
100. That'd be
100 by Christmas. After the end of the season.
I know, man.
Yeah.
Let's
tell
see.
Your friends, tell your family. It's gonna get lit, bro. It's gonna get more. Trust me. We're just getting.
Tell your wife. Tell the ex-wife. Tell the side ting. The next.
Tell Arsene Wenger.
That's it.
Tell Arsene Wenger.
That's it. Listen, do me a favor, people. Hit like and subscribe. Make sure you're following Lee Gunner and Lee Reacts. And Hugo, what you got, man? How can people follow you on socials and shit?
Oh, I'm gonna take over YouTube. I just haven't decided. Like the great Homer Simpson said, "I never fail because I never try."
I like that, bro. What's your socials? Your social handle?
I haven't really got it started, but it'll be Hugo Gunner. But at the moment, I'm just happy. I'm gonna do some travel content anyway. So this is just I like.
There's a market opportunity now. So where are you traveling to?
Yeah.
Just to let all the overseas girls know where you're going.
Going to different countries, eating different food and stuff like that. So that's gonna be my main thing that I'm gonna do in the future. But I'm going to kind of link it with football at some stage as well. So I'll just thank you for
You're going to catch games abroad as well, then, yeah?
Yeah. I'll come to Spain, bro. We'll watch it and stuff.
Well, you won't, but thanks for the warning.
But no Califury.
I'm joking. I'm joking. Bro, Alexis Sanchez is at Sevilla, bro. We're going to watch Sevilla.
Yeah, definitely.
Watch a proper footballer.
I still like Alexis Sanchez, so I still got
Big up, bro. Now, listen, big up for coming on, Hugo. I appreciate it. This is a hilarious super chat, by the way. Now, you're welcome, bro. Off topic, but Chelsea sold Jackson for 70 and we gave Aubameyang away.
Oh, bro. Yeah, we
so true as well.
Bro. 70 fucking M's. For, Joe was mad. Mason Chelsea. Mount, 29. Yeah.
Madueke.
Jackson. Madueke. Just shy $250 million. But don't worry, we've got about 3 million for Sambi Lukonga, and we've loaned out the rest of them.
See, I've heard, that we got 2 million for him, 4 million, 10 million.
I've seen 10,
no one has a clue. No one has a clue today. It's hilarious.
Bro, he's got less than a year left, yeah. And when he went to Sevilla last year, I said, they ain't fucking stupid. They ain't paying 12 million for him. I said, he'll be back next year. You see Fabio Vieira and all them lot, they're all coming back, mate.
Yeah, that's what I said. They're all going to bloody come back, mate.
Dan, have we still got Vieira?
No, he's gone Hamburg. He's gone, but it's like he's on loan, but it's an option to buy.
They're all options because they're fucking shit.
Reece Nelson ain't even, and Zinchenko ain't even options, mate. They ain't even options. They're just coming back next year, like Zinchenko and Nelson. There's no option.
What is Edu cooking at Forest?
Well,
Zinchenko.
Oh,
and they're paying the whole 150 a week.
That is a joke, mate. That is.
What is Edu cooking?
To be fair,
Salmonella, lads.
Bert's cooking there as well if he's managed to pull that off as well. So fair play. Look, we're going to wrap up. We're going to send you the LB stream. Big up to every single one of you, man. Make sure you're following all these guys. Make sure you're following OK Jerseys as well. And you've scanned the QR code for Match Bingo for the international break as well. And I will see you tomorrow, people. We're out of here. Laters.